Sundays with Styles and the Weapon.
Sundays. This is a special report on Israel versus Palestine, coming to you from the secret location. Trying to get my big ass into this little area.
Yo, whoa, what's up with the buddy you got?
Now,
Nothing
gentlemen.
but what's up, man?
Now, gentlemen,
Yeah.
do we have any... Oh, before we even do that,
Yeah.
I caught myself. I am your fucking host, eating the most pieces of delicious buttered toast. And this man to the right of me is...
Got the weapon back in action.
And this is...
It's your boy, Soldier Fifth.
And Cunhao. I remembered I hadn't done that a couple of shows, and I wanted to get that back in there. Shout out to Carl Cunhao. Yo, we are here to talk about something more serious today. We still probably will be a little bit of goofiness, but just like we said, it's a special report on Israel versus Palestine, or Israel versus Hamas, however you want to break it down. And we're going to talk about all sides, both sides, everything. The left, the right, the middle. It's not just black and gray, you know what I mean?
This onion has many layers.
But before we get into that, do we have any like house cleanup type chores that we need to do?
Just real quick, the normal shit that we tell you guys every week. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Rumble. Rumble's more of our friend, but you know, we gotta hit YouTube too because YouTube's the biggest platform on the planet. If you're not already on the Facebook group Sundays with Styles, Weapon, and Fifth, get in there because this is where you guys get these lives right here. So if you're not on there, get on there.
Because we are actually eventually going to go live from YouTube and
simultaneously across all platforms.
Yeah, we're looking at that shit. Yeah, absolutely.
Big shout out to Aaron All-Nighter for the info on that.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So
he's been very helpful on a lot of fucking
Magic.
a lot of ways. For sure.
So give a breakdown of how we're actually gonna have today's episode.
All right, so given that, I mean, it's probably gonna cross over a little bit here and there.
Yeah, for the most part.
But basically, what we're trying to do is to get the full 360 view. We're having Weapon sort of be like the Palestine Hamas, like sort of like BLM leftist type point of view. And then, because you know he might, yeah. So then me. I can't actually tell you why I'm going to play my part because that's inappropriate. But I'm going to be going and talking about the perspective from the Jewish people's side, from Israel. And Mr. Fifth here, he is going to be coming in the middle, looking objectively at both sides. Yeah. See how this is a little bit more serious today?
Yeah, I'm with it.
You got everybody here. Mr. Weapon is more serious than a fucking heart attack.
Y'all don't know about how Weapon just done sharpened his knife, man.
Anyways, do you want to start it off? Actually, since I just broke down. You know what I mean? At, like the beginning of the show. Yeah.
You want me to come tell I'm playing the middle?
Yeah, because you're in the middle, I can like feel like we can ease. You know what I mean? How you ease into it.
So as we're talking about, we all know. Was it last Saturday? I believe it was.
Yeah.
October 7th or 9th.
Shocking.
Yeah, it was. I wake up. I see some news that Palestine had ripped down the border walls. They were attacking Israel from the Gaza Strip from 6 different modes of transportation.
Yeah.
Which was wild. Now, to really break this down a little bit, it's like Israel with the Mossad is known internationally worldwide as the best counterintelligence, counter spying or spying operation in the world. They're better than the United States. So questions are going crazy right now about possible conspiracy theories.
Did they know? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how does and Israel is the size of New Jersey. Let's be serious. It's not a big state. You can take a plane ride from West Bank. A helicopter ride from West Bank to Gaza in 45 minutes. Questions arose. Why did it take the Israeli military 3 to 6 hours to come out inside to actually counteract and counterattack these terrorists that were? Let's be serious now. They're killing innocent civilians. They're taking women, old, elderly, they're raping them, bringing them, and some Americans bringing them back to the Gaza Strip.
Yeah.
The people who are living are, it's not like they're safe. The people they took that they didn't kill, they are probably in a living nightmare. And
absolutely. Can you imagine?
And the thing is, like we do, and that's why we want to talk about this very, very broadly because we do realize that there is a very long story that goes back. And we're not even gonna
Yeah.
go back as far as it goes. Like, if you really want to get into it, it goes back like thousands of years,
Yeah,
actually.
this is- yeah.
But like 1948, when
But even
but,
though-
but we're not even
before
gonna go.
that,
Yeah,
no.
but no, I know. But so there's a lot of opinions out there. Like, so for example, I'm gonna ask you what you think about this. There's over 100 colleges in the United States of America right now where protesters are protesting on Palestine's behalf. They're cheering for
Yeah,
Palestine.
yeah.
They actually put out memes with people on hang gliders with
Yeah.
like a silhouette
BLM Chicago
with
chapter.
a machine gun and stuff.
Palestine, what do you think about that?
Well, what I don't think, well, this is what I think, right? But I don't think a lot of those kids in the colleges even know what the hell they're talking about. A little too young. I mean, unless you're actually Palestinian and you know, I mean, given from what I've, the research I've done or whatnot, it looks like what they're saying is that Gaza is basically like an open air prison.
Yes.
For,
Yep.
Palestinians, and then obviously Hamas is running their terrorist, running their terrorist. What's the word I'm looking for?
But they were
Their
regime, but
their
they
plans
but they
for
were
the-
voted in.
Yeah, well, and then that even stems back to the U.S. government, man. Basically,
Yeah.
Funding them.
I remember
Send them
reading
$100
something
million,
about
$250 million.
what's her name, Hillary Clinton, saying something about like, oh, we should
the
have,
devil, you
we
mean?
should have made sure, yeah, basically, yeah. We should have made sure that
Points.
we got the person we wanted in there, like basically rigged the elections, which you were saying.
Yes. Oh, I guess I did hear
I
that.
kind of, I don't
Right.
know, it just.
Hold on, let's go back to the open air prison, bros. I
Yeah.
think you
Yeah.
touched upon something that we can deep dive into, which actually has significant relevance of what's going on.
Oh, I like the way you talk. All right, go. Shoot.
So when you say open air prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you further extrapolate what you mean by open air prison? Like what if
Mm.
if they're in the Gaza Strip and this is inside the country of Israel, right? But it's an open air prison. Can you go further? Can you dig deeper into that? And,
Yeah.
Like what? does
Why
that
do they
mean?
consider it?
I
Why do
get-
they
why is
consider
it
it that?
considered-
I mean, you're basically not allowed to leave. You're stuck in
You're
there.
stuck- yeah, because the surroundings. Israel's
Because
built
no
a wall.
surrounding countries want you.
And
In
There's
Israel
a wall,
doesn't.
There was
bro,
a
there's a
phrase-
wall surrounding it.
There was
Yeah,
a phrase or
entirely.
whatever. I think I was listening to
From the river to the
Dr.
sea?
Finkelstein or whatever he was talking about.
Yeah.
And he said, the only thing that Palestinians did wrong was to be born in that country. And then, and I'm like, damn, dude, like, and it's crazy because there's 2 million people stuck in like, whatever it is, 190 something kilometers.
Yeah, it's
and,
not big at all.
And,
It's like the size of
and
Manhattan, I think.
half of them, like half of that million are kids, like children
Right.
Mhm.
that are under the age of 19. Like, it's
So
crazy.
so I
It's
do
crazy.
feel I'm
Hold
not.
on. Now,
yeah.
what about you, Israel? What is your take on this
That's
angle?
what I'm doing right now. So it's not that I'm unempathetic. It's the fact that regardless of this situation, now it's not just Israel. No country wants anybody from Palestine.
yeah.
Everyone's
yeah.
trying them.
Why?
And there's a reason for that. So, and the problem is, yes, there are a lot of kids. But the problem being is that adults who are part of Hamas, anybody who supports Hamas, they come into Israel, they swoop in. Whether Israel knew it or not, I'm guessing that a few top people in Israel probably knew
I would
and probably was like, you know what, this is like, just let them make them, which is not right. You know what I mean?
Well, they said
But-
Egypt.
But when people
One of them.
come
Yeah,
in,
one of them a couple
I have to
times.
finish though. But when people come in to a country and murder a couple thousand people, grape women and children, murder them, elderly people, and then when they retreat, they go back to their country and they hide behind their women and their children and their elderly,
Their
and they
civilians,
have
yeah.
all of their bases and their weapons under mosques, under hospitals,
Weapons?
under schools. Like that's against the laws of war, but they don't follow any rules. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm coming from. Like, it's like thinking like this is a mistake that the United States makes. They think that you can just throw all kinds of people from all over the world into a big melting pot, and they're just automatically gonna all figure it out and be able to have
Function as
harmony.
one.
There are some tribes that historically do not get along, and they're never gonna get along.
No, especially in the Middle East.
Like I know I know the Squad and these fucking Fruit Loops think that like, oh, we're gonna make harmony. We want it like, bro.
It's not always possible.
What you're actually making is you're making Hamas more powerful. Hamas is in
Emboldened.
every country in the goddamn world. They're in every country. Their numbers go unchecked. And now you can look up this fact if you would like to, but in this country, somewhere around 80% of people who come here from the Middle East collect welfare and
Some type of assistance, like some type of assistance,
like all the assistance. Like they don't come here to work. Not all of them, because you can't lump everybody off.
No,
you can't do that with anybody.
True.
But there's a big chunk. You can look it up. You can do your own fucking
And that
research.
happens with a lot of.
And that's called reading. So
Yeah,
I
a
know
lot
people
of
forget
people too.
about reading. But so it's my point is it's not just black and gray.
No, it's not.
Sorry, black and white.
It's not
There's
black and white,
Gray.
it's gray.
What's
Yeah,
gray?
I just said I caught
Yeah.
myself. Thank you, sir. There is a gray area, but the thing is, it's like saying, hey, I'm gonna go up to that lion and be like, hey, lion, you stop
Don't
murdering
eat
my
me.
friend.
Yeah.
The
Stop
lion's gonna
attacking
fucking
them.
eat you. Is
Stop-
that a good analogy?
Stop attacking
Yeah,
those
no, it makes
gazelles.
The
sense.
motherfucking
Makes
like
sense.
the Israel is the best house in a bad neighborhood.
Now, with that being said, Palestine.
You don't like that?
No. With that being said, Palestine.
Yeah.
Why would you, from as best as you can, give us a view from Palestinian point of view, why they would have gone to the extent that they've gone on that attack with everything that he just said, because he kind of, he built up a good point
Yeah.
about historical, how things have happened, how things have got there from that point of view. Now, why would Palestine comment with those types of atrocities?
So,
Yeah.
all right, I listened. I think it was Jimmy Dore the other day.
Yeah, you
so
can
that's
fair,
what I was
yeah.
listening to, and the dude who
Got my
was
emergency
talking on it,
flare.
he was Jewish or whatever. But the whole name of the episode was, and this was the Jewish guy talking about it. It was that Dr. Finkelstein. He was talking about it, and he basically said that and I'm not talking Hamas. He said the Palestinians.
Yeah.
They had no other option. Do I agree with that? No, not fully. No. Do I understand from their point of view? Can I be very empathetic with them? Yes, but I mean, was that really the only option? I mean, that's Hamas though in their control in Palestine. So it's you know what I mean, like with the Palestinian people.
Real
It's
quick,
like,
if I
No,
can.
play down the middle. Play down the middle on that. Hold on, play down the middle on that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. They snuck attack, basically sucker punch Israel, right? Is it okay, or do you think it was a smart move for Palestinians to go after innocent civilians versus if you're going to do a terror attack, let's be honest, it is a terror attack, it isn't freedom fighters like they're saying, they're trying to frame that, and this is being
Yeah.
down the middle. You think it would have been in their better long-term interest to have attacked, say, military installations versus going into innocent towns where people don't have, and slaughtering people that can't defend themselves?
that right there is war
They
crimes.
they hit
That's-
soft targets.
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
they and that's
yeah.
what they want to hit was
Yeah.
soft
But
targets.
do you
They want
think-
to
do you
lose
think-
resistance.
I think
The
it's-
objective is going to be
sick.
completed because the objective was to bring, honestly, the objective, if you think about it, was to bring and shine international light on the situation, to try to get international pressure on Israel to take the knee off the neck of Palestine, which they do. Let's be honest, like they really do have. So they've applied a lot of pressure. Israel has applied a lot of pressure to the Gaza Strip.
Yeah, they're not
50%
innocent.
unemployment.
Yeah, they're not
50%.
saints. They're no saints.
Yeah,
You're
they're no
right.
saints. 50% unemployment there. Now, is that due to their own government? Maybe, but Israel isn't helping either. Let's be honest. Like they're allowing them to deteriorate to the point thereof. But to cross the border in the manner they did and to hit innocent civilians, you think that's going to achieve what they're looking for? Do you think that was a bad move?
No, but I think they did install terror, dude, and like that's they're
Facts.
technically terrorists. Like I mean, you can say what you want about the U.S. government too, but
Yeah,
We're no
Facts.
saints. We're no saints either.
yeah, but they, I mean, I think if that's their point, like that they were trying to like install terror, the terror in people. I think hey.
They hit them out.
No,
They hit them
the
out.
mark there. They hit the mark there. But I
mean,
think,
dude, we had him
I think the
babies and shit,
international-
man. God, man.
I feel like
And it wasn't propaganda like the
No,
Kuwait, the
no.
babies
No.
out of the incubators on foot. This is
no,
that happened.
no, they were on social media live doing it, bro. But they didn't have those kind of lives.
And you heard what they
going
said
on.
about the hostages that they have, right?
I heard a bunch of depending what you talking
So
about. specifically.
so they're
got
using the hostages they have. They said if you don't do what we ask you
We're
to
gonna
do,
execute
we're going to execute
yeah.
them one by one on live on social media. And that's another thing. And let me say real quick before we get back to saying, why is it that I get banned on social medias all the time?
Is this all the time? Is this off topic?
No.
Alright.
Just for putting out some knowledge for people of what's going on in the world, I get banned.
What do you mean? What would you post? Like try to go into
That
that.
doesn't
Yeah,
matter
yeah,
because
like,
oh, dude.
once I say what you say, it's not gonna matter. But Hamas is on social medias posting the rape and murder
Oh, yeah.
of women and children.
But they're
How
shadow
can
banning
they?
you.
Yeah,
But they're shadow banning you?
They're shadow banning us. They're shadow banning. I don't know. They're doing, like,
Yeah, it's-
Wow.
like make it all make sense.
we know why.
All right.
though.
So, but
We-
anyways,
no,
like,
we know why that answer. Like,
suck it, because they don't like the right. They don't like conservatives, even though we.
they don't like opposite opinion.
We're
That's division.
They
What
don't
you're
like
saying-
Americans.
No,
we are moderate.
Weird.
What
conservatives.
What you're saying creates a divide line. It isn't left, right, straight. It's the fact that you don't have the same opinion as them. When you get to that point right there, once you don't have the opinion, then
Facts.
you become the other side. It doesn't matter what nationality, what creed, none of that matters. None of that matters. Your class. If you don't have the same opinion as them, you're shadow banned.
Yeah.
Period. That is the line. There's one line drawn with them or against them. That's it.
But think about
My opinion.
No, and I think it's a good one, because think about in history, every time that governments tried to censor everything, was it the good guys or the bad guys?
True,
I mean,
true.
like literally, what they're doing is like in the Nazi playbook. I mean, I hate to.
It is.
I'm not trying to like.
No, but it is.
You know, people are like, you're a fearmonger. Like, no, I'm just telling you about what's happening in the world, and you take that information and use it however you would like. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not telling you to be scared. I'm telling you to have knowledge. Like, knowledge
attention,
is
to
bro.
open up.
When the fuck did it become
Check
like?
both sides.
Oh, I don't have to
Yes,
read a book, or I don't have to read an article, and I don't have to watch it, because I just know. I just know in from my gut that what I say is right.
Hey, what CNN tells you.
But I
gotta
mean,
be
anything
true.
could be, and to that point, everything can be fucking fake. Like literally, I heard someone say recently that everything that humanity has created, like fucking money and these fucking laws and governments, it's all a fucking illusion.
Of course it is.
Dude, time.
If you break the illusion, if we all stand up, you know how they're like playing on a Monopoly board
what
on our
happens,
backs?
though? No, and you're right. You're right. What happens when that happens, though? Like, I give you an example, right? What you just said. Everyone stands up and says, "We break the illusion." What happens? What's the outcome of that?
Well, it's gonna be chaos at first.
Society is going to dissipate and break
Yo,
down.
if
There'll be
everybody-
outright chaos and anarchy
If
everywhere.
everybody agreed just
because
to
of
not
those,
pay taxes.
some of those illusions pay. Some of those illusions
What
are
I'm
meant for
talking about
good.
is
Structure.
Yeah.
You're talking
What
about
do they call it,
structure, bro. Is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There needs to be structure.
non-compliance.
To some degree.
Non-compliance is what I'm talking about.
No, but there needs to be structure, bro. If you
But
break
like
structure, that was
peacefully,
a problem.
but like peaceful non-compliance. But until there's a time for peace and there's a time for war. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
what
Like,
you're saying would never happen. If you dissolved everything, there's too many bad people in this world right now. They would absolutely start to take over.
You
Speaking
know,
of,
my wife said recently. She said, "I would, if I had to take a guess, I would guess that there's more bad people in this world than there are good. Not that there aren't good people. I think she's right.
I think it's on a scale.
Not more just totally bad people, but like on a scale.
She's right to a point. I don't feel like there's more bad people than good. I feel like there's more people who are doing nothing, which is just as bad as being bad.
Oh,
Because,
say
Because
the quote.
they-
because
Say the quote.
if good people do nothing, that allows evil to succeed. And you're just as you're,
Yes.
and there's three different
Voice.
types. There's people that are good. There's people who do nothing. There's people who are bad. The people who do nothing aren't bad people, but you're just as bad as the bad people because by doing nothing, you're allowing
They're
that to
saying,
lean either way.
they're saying,
Yes.
they're saying, a lot of them are saying,
Hanging in the balance.
ignorance is bliss. I just want to enjoy my life and just do whatever I want to do and just not give a shit about what's happening.
which is fine, but understand there's consequences.
But
to
they
that.
think, well, this because this is mostly people who live in the United States because they think that we're untouchable.
to a degree we are.
To a degree.
Yeah.
To a degree we
To
are.
a degree.
You know.
To a degree. Like, I love when people saying, like, yeah, Israel definitely wanted this to happen. It was going to happen because the Iron Dome can't stop every motherfucker.
It's not meant to.
It's not meant to. They were sending barrages. They were sending ones for it to look at that while they're sending more coming from, like, they're...
Different directions. bro.
Yeah.
Hezbollah has about, what, 1,500?
150,000.
Oh my God.
Advanced.
Ah!
No. Listen, on Lebanon border, this is North Israel.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Lebanon too. Is
Lebanon. This is Hezbollah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Hezbollah has this is a report. I don't know if this is right or wrong. This is a report. 150,000. The rockets Hamas is shooting from the West Bank and from Gaza are of lesser technology than what Hezbollah has because Hezbollah is the proxy army for Iran, so it has Iran's technology behind it. These rockets are more advanced. This is why the United States Striker carrier is sitting outside of Lebanon like, Hezbollah, don't enter this war. or
Ready
we'll
to
fuck you up.
motherfucking
And that's what we're
go,
doing.
dude.
And the British Royal Navy has also sent out a Striker fleet getting headed down there. They're not fucking around.
And
They're not
damn
playing.
good
and
Navy, too.
They're not playing,
and,
though.
and I think they have to do that because people need to understand that Hamas, and we're part of the problem because we literally armed with tons of money and ammunitions. We armed Hamas, we armed Iran, and we armed Israel. We armed all three of the
I
people.
don't think a lot of people know
and
that.
if Hezbollah in Iran gets involved, we just do not have a choice but to do something.
What happens then?
Or all of
I'm gonna
them.
give you. Right, let's go.
People stop pushing buttons.
Bro. What happened? No. Let's go further about what you just said because you're onto something here. Let's just give a hypothetical.
I'm just getting ready in
Let's
case
say
it hits.
Lebanon, right? Let's say Lebanon and Hezbollah start firing rockets. Now the United States starts bombing Lebanon. We all know that Iran is then going to get involved. Who's Iran tight with right now? Russia and China.
Russia, I was just gonna say.
Russia and China.
So, yeah.
Now you've effectively drawn a line from, say, Israel north to northwest. And now you're talking about this whole part of the continent, which is Russia up top, China down here, and except for India. India has been neutral so far.
Yeah.
Minus them out of that, you have a whole portion of Asia that is now on one side. You even have North Korea on this fucking continent, but
They
on the
all-
other side, all in one area.
They all are cheering on Hamas. All those people.
They're probably not gonna be able to hear you.
I know. I was only leaving it on for a second, but
No, put it up so your mouth still talks. Though. Like, can you get your mouth out of there or no?
So the cheering on.
who really adopted the dog? I was born in it.
Fly.
All right. So, anyways, yeah. But
Bane.
so that's the thing, man. Like, tell me. I got a question for you, Jory.
See?
Do you think that China right now is like looking at Taiwan? Like, you know in cartoons when a cartoon character is like wicked hungry and they look at their friend and their friend
Wow,
looks like a hot
Coyote
dog,
looking at the Roadrunner, like getting his fork and knife out, just fucking sharp.
sweating like
shit
a
up.
sweating like a
Xi Jinping is sitting there
F word at a hot
eating
dog
chips,
stand.
computer chips.
Computer shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because still,
Looking at it.
I don't know what the current percentage is, but we still get like a majority of our
Advanced chips.
chips from Taiwan, which means that if we get if China's able to blockade and don't get it twisted, they are powerful enough to blockade it if they want to.
From a Navy point of view,
I'm just saying if they wanted to
for
block us
it'll
off,
be short-lived, bro.
but it would be
Bad.
long enough if they cut off the chips for long enough. So
They-
you're
they
saying
wouldn't. They
so
wouldn't.
basically you're saying so you don't think that they're gonna make a move for Taiwan?
I think they're gonna make a move for Taiwan, but what I think you're gonna see happen is, if you look at numbers, yes, China has more quote-unquote Navy ships.
You know
right?
they're still building too, by the way, right?
I get it, but when you actually break down that, like, United States has a couple hundred less, but like 90% of ours are advanced warships, and then you look at theirs and you're like, oh, only 20 to 25%. Dude, they're taking fishing ships and calling them fucking warships when they're not. And not for nothing, they don't have an air force either. Their air force is null compared to ours.
Oh, yeah.
So when we go over there and we carpet bomb them, it's a wrap, bro. Like you don't know how quick I think it's gonna fall. I think this is my opinion. I could be wrong. I think China is a paper tiger, and yes, I said it.
Yeah, he's still over here talking that crazy shit.
We gotta quote Jory Foreman over here.
Dude, fucking. What about this? Try this on for size. What about Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, and anybody else who might want to join them? If they join forces and come up with some sort of a plan, are they at least a threat to us? I'm not saying they're going to beat us. I'm saying are they a threat to us?
No, that's it. Are you saying that all 5 or whatever amount of countries you specified are going against the United States solely? Because that would never happen either.
But they're
If you
already
see- if you
doing
see-
it in other ways.
if
They're
you
trying to
see-
create the new fucking
No,
world standard for money.
bricks. I get it. But what you're then going to see is the rest of the world that is on our side come together, which you haven't seen yet. Australia, New Zealand, Europe. You know what I mean? Like,
But will we though?
Of course.
Because some of these places are
Already-
saying,
They're already kinda
like
getting
in
the
Europe,
whole-
they're like, yeah, we don't really want to be involved with your guys' bullshit anymore. Like the president of France is telling other countries, and I know France, fucking pussy, freedom fries, bitch. But he's telling the rest of Europe, don't get yourself involved in the United States troubles.
Some I can't call it. Some may follow, some may not. But even if you if you look at military power wise, United States is number 1. Israel's in the top 5. You know they're gonna back us because we're backing them. Now you start putting these technologies together. Britain's sending the striker force down, so Britain's another top 5.
Yeah.
So when you combine, I get what you're saying.
NATO.
There might be 7. There might be 7 top 15s, but when you have like 3 of the top 5, do you really have to worry then at that point? Because look at what
Yeah, I
mean?
get it,
Like,
man.
And what I'm not saying is Of course, it'd be a threat. Of course, it would be a threat to it. You know, it'd be a threat to the topic.
Shout out
of,
threat.
Yeah,
of course,
shout out
of course,
threat.
of course, it would be a threat. But I think in the grand scheme, in the long term, even short term, I think they don't really pose like a real threat. As in, are they gonna drop like boots on the United States soil?
We're gonna have a tough time though if it comes down to a draft, dude.
Oh, of
Because
course.
you know a lot of people.
This
don't
is what
wanna
I
go
think.
fight
Oh,
these
now,
wars.
yeah, oh, absolutely.
This
no.
is what I think that
And,
this
and our military's
is
down.
what I think's
It's
coming
like-
for us, bud. You know, just in case you
It
want to
could
fucking
be.
know.
Bro,
and
it could be.
and they can hear me with this on, so I think I'll wear this for a little bit. But so, you realize that all these fucking countries that were coming together here now, they're all these countries that have problems with each other. We all are nuclear powers. Is that bad?
Some of them.
All right, so we got USA,
Mhm.
a nuclear power.
Israel.
We got Russia, nuclear power.
Mhm.
We got
China.
Israel, nuclear power. We got China, nuclear power. Iran, that they say is
They're not working on a.
This-
No, they're
nuclear
working on
bomb.
it, but do they have? It's like North Korea. Do they
They're
have the
still
technology to
doing
do
it.
it?
They guarantee it.
Even if they're working on it, if they don't have the ability to shoot one out,
What do
they
we pay?
can't-
$6
they
billion
can't gas one.
not to do it?
But are they
Or
get-
$8
yeah.
or something?
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, did you see that? You know from
Crazy.
the movie The Dictator
Mhm.
with Sacha Baron? Where he's like, they give us billions of dollars. We promise. We know use it. We
yeah.
just use it. And he's laughing while he's like, oh, I can't. Yeah, bro.
They're absolutely still working on it.
Now bring this all home back to the said topic.
Ooh, back to Israel
Back
versus
to Israel and Palestine. So with all that
Palestine.
being said, right? What's the next move for now? We know. Oh yeah, there you go. So we know Israel, right, has amassed 300,000 troops on the border, and they're gearing up tanks. They're gearing up a ground assault, like a legit war.
Yeah.
And they have their air, which is I believe Israel's like second, third, or fourth in the world with their air force. They are no joke. They are not to be played with air force.
Yeah, they're
Air Force,
legit.
bro.
They're
They're legit when it comes to the
legit.
air force, dude.
Yeah.
They have F-22s. They have F-16s. They have some of our.
I just like
they have some of the most
I like the
technological
fact
shit.
too that if you live in Israel, you have to become part of the military.
For at least 2 years.
Yeah,
You need at least 2 years training.
Hey, did you
Do
see
that,
how?
man.
Which this is why I always
Because they're
laugh.
surrounded. Because like what Paul said earlier, they're the best house in a bad. And call it a bad neighborhood, but they're
Yeah.
surrounded by people that want to exterminate
Yeah.
them. That's really what it is. And you
All
want to
Muslim
call,
countries, usually most of them, right? I'm pretty sure. I mean, they don't want, they don't want Judaism. You know?
No, because again, like
Well, I got
like
something to say about
like,
that,
like
too.
he was saying earlier, right? As much as the world trying to become this one world thing, you can't have a one world thing when people aren't all buying. In order to have a one anything, you need every party to buy into something.
Yeah.
So you need a common, you need a commonality that everyone can gravitate towards and buy into. That's how you get the one umbrella.
Yeah.
You're not.
He's on fire.
You're not getting the one umbrella, bro, with what's going on in the Middle East, because even if you look at it like this, Israel was about to sign a fucking deal with Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Saudi Arabian Muslim and is not even the same type of Muslim that is in Iran. They're mortal enemies, and they've been like
Yeah.
that for thousands of years.
Shiites and what the other?
Yeah,
Sunnis.
Sunnis
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Shiites.
Yeah.
So, dude, they're mortal enemies for thousands of years.
Yeah.
You're telling me
Crazy.
you're gonna try to one umbrella? You're not.
And they're
It's
the
not
same
gonna
people
happen.
too, man. That's
It's never gonna
crazy,
happen.
man. It's wild.
That's why this one government shit doesn't work. It's like you can't have multiple tribes with multiple ideologies and some that are so drastically far apart from each other come together as one. It's not happening.
Yeah, because here's the thing. But what do you think that the ultimate? All right, let me pitch this to you real quick because I find something very strange about it. But what do you think the weird relationship is with like the left and like BLM and like Antifa and stuff, supporting Palestine? Like, I kind of feel like, is it because eventually they want the whole world to be Muslims? Like, is that the ultimate? Like, I feel like we're in this unholy union.
If you ask in my opinion, I think it's oppression. I think BLM is built off of the black oppression in slavery from years ago, and they're looking at Palestine as the same type of slaves to the Jews, and there's a connection right there. They feel the same way. So when you see that post on Twitter of the hang glider coming in and they're hanging the Palestinian flag, I'm not saying I agree with it because I 150% disagree with it, but I understand why they would feel that type of way, but they don't. I think it's short-sighted. And it's not.
That's probably one of the worst ways they could have done that.
Agreed.
Is just like, I mean, that's not gonna. As much as like I listened to that interview or whatever on that podcast, and the dude was like, they had no other option. Bro, went about it the wrong way, but obviously that's a lot of Hamas. Like, I mean, and don't get me wrong, obviously Palestinian Hamas. I mean, they're kind of all intertwined. I mean, if you really think about it. I mean, think about it too. I mean, what
Terrorism.
there's a million babies over there, or young kids
What do
under
they have in
19.
common?
You don't think they're being influenced by Hamas or
Of
people
course.
of Hamas? Like, it's,
Guys, I don't know about
And
you,
then on
but
top of
sometimes I
that,
just feel like a
teachers,
fucking
man.
clown.
And then on top of that, right? And no, to even go further on what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So now you have a million kids that are under 18, 19 years old, and again, I'm not saying Israel is right or wrong for doing this, but they just cut all power, all water, all sewer off.
I don't think that was the.
So with that being said, now
Humanitarian.
so no, but to what he's saying is they're being influenced by Hamas, right? Now on top of that, those kids are now seeing in real time the power get cut. It's reiterating what Hamas is saying. So that's really now becoming a core
Now that-
value within this generation.
It's like propaganda.
But it's real life propaganda. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
just words and fucking videos. They're seeing that in real time. That could be a real fucking issue in 10, 20 years.
But you know-
and those kids are now military age.
And I
men.
disagree with what Israel
Oh,
did
there's
with
a lot of people
I do, I
in
really
Palestine who have lived there their whole lives that were born there, and they're like you just said, in their late teens.
and this is what they're seeing, bro. Like this is you're almost.
They
I don't
call
know
it
if you- I don't know
call
if
it an open air prison, and they just say like it's basically been a boiling pot, and it's always gonna boil over.
I
So
don't-
that's what we're trying to get from both sides. But still, man,
I don't know if you guys know this or not too, but there was I forget what the operation name was, but back in 2006 or something like that, the Palestinians they were doing peaceful protests or whatnot, and Israel was like taking them out at like the knees, shooting them in the kneecap, shit like
I heard
that.
about that.
I forget what the name of the operation was, but it's like so like they tried like peaceful protesting. So like I said, I'm not agreeing with any of the shit that Hamas did. or anything,
we're
but
just trying to show
did
both
Palestine-
sides.
do Palestinians feel like they have their back against
Because
the wall?
regardless,
That's
I agree. I agree. I feel
because
like they did.
regardless,
I feel like they
Crazy,
did.
man.
they're all human beings. Like,
Yeah.
like at the
No, I
end of the
feel
At the
day,
end of the day,
I feel like Hamas was. They were pushed into a corner, right? And what happens when you push something into a corner?
A wild
They're gonna-
animal.
They're going to come out fighting, right? However, I feel like the step they took was one step too far. Like I said earlier, you could have attacked military installations and you would have got the same kind of like publicity worldwide. Doing the civilians was, bro, there's a line. I get war is war, but there's a gentleman's war and there's a barbaric war.
Yeah.
And when you start to go to that barbarian side where you're raping women, you're stealing children, and you're
Beheading.
killing innocent people,
cutting
innocent
babies'
civilians that
heads
don't have nothing to do
off,
with
man.
it. That's you've crossed the
that
line.
shit hurts my soul.
and
You've
that's the
crossed
stuff
the
that
line.
you can't expect the Western world. There's probably people in the Middle East who don't really care that much about it, but you can't expect people in the Western world to not have a gut reaction to something like
Oh,
that.
no, absolutely. How
Babies
could you?
You'd be
Can't
another
be
human,
shut
bro.
up.
You'd be
Why?
another human.
Yeah, it's human compassion, man. Like it's like empathy and.
All right, so let me ask you this: you guys want to go on a conspiracy rabbit hole just a little bit?
I'd like to do a little bit.
I'll-
Also, I'd like to real quick. I'd like to give a shout out to my boy Elon. I'm starting. The more time goes on, the more I think that maybe this dude is
He's
not
actually-
really evil.
he's-
Maybe he might be trying to.
So hold on, bro. Just let's go there real quick. So is it fair to say he came online and was like warning us about AI and wanted us to halt like the AI pushing forward? Correct? Fair to say that.
I listened to
Yeah.
So then why at the same time was he doing that? Did he go start his own AI company up?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I think maybe he's doing it a
that's-
different way. But do you think it's that the stories are not true? That it's propaganda? That he's very upset that his oldest son is has an appointment to have his penis chopped off?
Yeah.
Well, how does that affect the AI?
No, what I'm saying is that people who still say that, oh, he's an undercover for the left, he's a foot sort of left, he's just playing this part. Like I'm saying, I believe he is not, in the middle, leaning conservative.
Fair
Yeah, I would
enough.
say,
Fair enough to say.
yeah.
I mean, middle leading conservative, I can see that.
I mean, he had BB. Didn't BB come to fucking visit him?
Maybe. I imagine so. Because he owns Twitter, bro. He owns
Benjamin
Twitter. I would imagine.
Netanyahu said that he was that Elon was allowing too much anti-Semitism on
No, but
X,
Elon wants-
and he came here to visit him.
So
But
Lindsay's
Elon-
going to
And-
visit him too. Yeah, with that.
Wants
Yep,
free fucking-
and,
wants free speech, man.
The United
On
Kingdom.
free speech, you have to be willing to take the bad speech with the good speech.
Check this: a telegram or something like that came from Bulgaria. I think it was an email to Elon saying that basically, if you don't start not allowing people to post certain stuff on X, like it was a threat. Threat. Like,
I mean, what the hell is Bulgaria going to do?
I don't know.
Just
It was
Just like
basically
terrorists do.
it was
Like
out
other
of
terrorists.
it was basically yes, and also in the United Kingdom, in Europe, you have to remember because people forget all the time. I forget myself. We're the only country in the world that has the First Amendment to say what we want to say, even to the point of, and shout out to Nate Murphy, from back in the day, because he said, now he is a member of the military too, and when I put the quote on Facebook saying, if you want to burn the American flag, go burn it in your own shithole country, and I still do feel like that, because he said, do you not care about the First Amendment and free speech? I said, you know me, and you know I do, but I'm not telling people, I would not stop them from doing it, but it's repulsive to me. And that's all I'm saying. And I'm allowed to have that opinion.
Yeah, because if they're allowed to burn the flag, you're allowed to have that opinion, right? So if you're allowed to do one side, you're allowed to have the other.
You're also allowed to kick them in the balls. So.
No, that you're not allowed to do.
Oh, you can't do that?
You're not allowed to do. That's physical violence. Now you're getting into a slippery slope with that.
You know.
I feel what you're saying though. Like you get aggravated to want to do that.
Maybe walk by and give him a little elbow to the guy, something like that.
It's just like, I feel like if we're not careful, we're gonna end up like the rest of the world in a country where you can't speak your mind. You know what I mean?
Well,
because already they're doing this weird shit, and this is a tiny bit off the subject, but I feel like this is something I really do want to just very short and get it out there quick. It's very strange to me that this book, Gender Queer, is in elementary schools, yet when adults across the country go into city council meetings and read from the book and show the pictures in the book, the cops come and arrest them. And they say it's because they asked them to leave. They don't say it's specific to that, but it is because the council members, they say it is inappropriate. It's repulsive. It's in that book. So if it's inappropriate to a grown-ass adult, why would it be appropriate for children?
It wouldn't be. And anyone with common sense would know that.
And especially for kids.
And that's why they frame it. That's why they frame the cops coming to arrest those people as we ask them to leave, because it is the truth. When you do a public forum like that and you're disrupting the public forum, they have the right to ask you to leave. So they figured out a loophole around it to get their propaganda out while still maintaining their integrity behind it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I agree with that at all, but I get the playbook they're running. What we need to do is figure out what we need to do is continuously send people back up to there, saying, listen, if they get rid of one person, the next person needs to come up and pick up right from that spot and keep going. That way the message gets out. Even if it takes 4 people or 5 people, the message gets out, and that's the important part. But the problem is we're too divided. Not everyone's on the same page.
Way too divided, man.
But instead of trying to completely undivide us, which is never gonna happen, we should be trying to all meet each other like at least like halfway.
You can't with this at this point.
Like as people. Well, there are some people who can't.
No, explain to me how you meet halfway with with the children thing.
Believe it or
not,
how
do you meet halfway there?
Believe it or not,
Sorry,
a lot of people are.
How do you meet halfway on that, bro? That's to me, and I'm saying my opinion.
But but here's the thing. What is this gaslighting thing where people on the left literally, and I'm not saying all of them because you can't say about anybody, but a lot of people on the left, they act like, what do you mean? There's nothing wrong with this. Do you really believe that?
A lot of them don't have.
Like you, bro, got more of a reason to care about this than anybody now, man.
Oh yeah, no, trust me.
You got the youngest. Like someday if he comes home and says, Dad, come my thing up.
Yeah, check. No.
I'll be in California, bro. They'll come
check out my coochie, Dad. My new coochie.
Bro, you better not be in California. They will take your kids and they will allow it to happen.
I know. But what was that?
In California now, they made it's law now.
That's what I'm saying.
It's law in California that if you're a parent and your kid comes to you and says, I am transsexual, I want to transition, and you don't take them to the doctor and allow them to at least get the hormones and start getting prepped for the surgery, they will take your child away. And this is not nonsense. That you can look it up. It's an actual law on the books. So now we're saying, like, that's why they say kids are not just your kids, they're all of our kids, they're everybody's kids. I bet you fucking want them to be just like all the sex trafficking. You know,
I wish my grandmother was alive right now.
Hold on. Let's get back.
I wish my grandmother was alive to see this, man. Oh,
no, you don't, bro.
Oh my God, she's turning her grave right now, man. My grandfather, dude, tell me, both my grandfathers almost lost their lives in World War II. They were both in the Navy, and the thing is, what they fought for, them being alive and fighting for everyone's freedom, what they fought for, if we just allow this type of shit to happen, like if we forget our history, we're doomed to fucking repeat it. A lot of things.
What do you think, the people that fought in World
That's
War
what they're doing
the
it,
people
man.
in war that fought in World War One and Two, what do you think they would say if they were still alive when you went, if you went to them and said, people
Have you seen?
people don't know if they're a boy or a girl.
Have you seen some of the
Bro,
videos
what?
of the veterans that are like 98, 99 years old?
Yeah, bro, but like
They're crying.
That's just killing them, probably.
They're crying,
Yeah.
talking about what this government is doing as far as wars, what this government is doing to children. Like, yeah, they're fucking actually crying. It's so
fucking
sad to
sad,
see.
man.
Like, in their full uniform. Have you not
Sad,
seen
bro.
this? And some people say, well, that's propaganda. This man,
Talk to him. Go
this
talk to
man
him.
is the fucking reason, probably part of the reason why we're all here.
Why we're not speaking German right now? Let's be
Yeah.
serious. Or
Yeah.
Japanese.
Fuck, man.
Let's be fucking serious.
Like-
You know the U.S. didn't even want to get into World War II, but they realized they
No,
had
they
to.
had
to.
They had to. And then guess what? They didn't have to do a draft.
They waited
People
way
actually stepped
long.
up for it.
They almost waited too long.
Yeah, and everybody
In fact.
stepped up for it.
No, they did it at the
well,
right time.
Well, actually, they did know what was going on until they found out that
Well, I
the
mean, you don't think
concentration
if they
camps-
got involved a little bit earlier, then maybe 6 million Jews wouldn't have got.
Well,
No, what I'm saying too is they allowed everyone to decimate themselves so that when World War II was over, who was the last standing power with the most military still around?
And that's
The
what made
US.
us.
That's why we
That
went.
fucking
know,
made
though?
us.
Did you know?
That fucking
They knew.
made us, brother.
They knew what was going on in the concentration camps because at first it started off as just experimental shit. Like they
Yeah.
weren't killing them like right away.
No.
Then they found out about it. Like
It
what
was
going on.
it was
Then they
like
found out about
hoods.
the
It was
deaths.
like hoods.
Yeah. They,
And like
they were experimenting
in
with
the beginning,
drugs and certain shit
in the
like that.
beginning, it wasn't even fully fenced in and stuff. Like it was the frog.
yeah.
It was a frog in a boiling
Yeah.
pot.
And then
Yeah.
when the U.S. found out what was really going on, they were like, all right.
Did
we
you
can
see
get
when the U.S. You ever seen the footage of U.S. soldiers releasing some of these people from the concentration camps?
Yeah, bro, they were like this
how
big.
skinny
They were
and
fucking
they're
pencils,
crying
man.
and
Yeah.
they're hugging
Surprised
them
it's still
and they're
alive.
telling
Some of
them
them are alive.
they're giving them
Stop.
water and bread and stuff and they're telling them don't go because your reflex when you're starving
It's
is
the
to
mouth,
overdo it
you
and it
can't
can
just
kill
die,
you
yeah.
because your stomach's too
Yeah.
small. But man, that pulls at people's heartstrings. You know what I mean, and people always say like, oh yeah, they were the greatest generation. Like at the end of the day, I think that probably things were just always the same as they are now, but it was just less like people hit about it to an extent some of the stuff. But no, dude, the people who fought in World War II, man, those were real people. The men and women, those were real people. We stopped probably the fucking end of the world as we know it, at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
it would have been a new world.
we would all be over here
It'd be way different, bro.
with blonde and blue eyes, like I've been scooching blogging.
That's what they wanted, though. They wanted race superiority.
But that's what makes me, and I'm not saying that this is what's happening, but if you look into it enough, and you don't have to look very far, that's what makes me scared that the Muslim religion wants the whole world to be Muslim.
They already said, bro. It's called the caliphate. Look it up.
Like we are infidels.
Look, bro. Look it up. One of the Middle Eastern top highest ranking religious people came out about 10. I think it was 2008, 9, or 10. Came out and said we're waging a holy caliphate. You know what a caliphate is? They're basically going to infiltrate.
I have one on my foot.
They're going to infiltrate your country. These guys are going to have sex with your women, right? And now all of your babies are now half and halves. You don't have any full bred anything anymore. Everything becomes like a mutt. They wipe you off the face of the planet that way.
Yeah. Well, they've done it in history.
I know that's.
Like dude.
This isn't new.
People.
This isn't new.
People. Read a fucking book every
This
once in a
isn't
while.
new. This
Hey,
is the same
hey,
playbook ran again.
read a book, and if you don't like to read a book, or you can't read. Some people say reading some people in jail, whatever. But I do like to read. But listen, if you don't want to read,
You can read?
Look at I can.
I can't,
I
man.
swear to
Sucks,
God.
man.
Only
Look
one
up.
eye.
Yeah, I'll teach you, bud. Don't
Alright,
worry.
good.
But so look up
He has a monocle.
a documentary, and what I just forgot what I was talking
It's
about.
half
What
read,
the
can
point
only
was
half
that I
read.
was- What was the point that I was going to with this?
Why ask me what your point was?
No, but I was saying like if you
gonna
don't
be a
want to
damn
read
good
about it.
show.
I know.
Yeah.
No, but this has been a great show. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Snub into a Slim Jim. Slim Jim, we love him. Talk to us. All right. So,
It's
and by the way, I haven't even been drinking Mountain Dew lately, boys.
I can tell.
Yeah.
I haven't
I
been-
lost like
You're not sweat. I can't.
I
smell
lost like
Mountain Dew sweat.
18 pounds in the last 32 days.
Look at that,
And I'm
bro.
because I don't want to be I don't want to be. Thank you.
Weapon.
I don't-
Weapon. How
And-
long was
and-
your last drink?
I was gonna say I was gonna ask him if he
No,
wanted
I was
to
gonna
talk
say,
about it.
I haven't been drinking, so I don't know.
How long?
For how long?
2 weeks.
Be 2 weeks on Tuesday. So, hey man, I gotta.
That's
You
discipline.
notice
right
this
there.
guy's been sharp as a
I gotta
motherfucking
get.
tack
I gotta get myself
all
back in
day
that
today.
tip-top
Yes,
shape, buddy.
Points, and we're gonna start. We're gonna start walking because we need to walk before we get in the gym.
Oh,
I think kind of a little bit. You know what I mean?
Maybe you'll
Get
walk
the
your
blood
ass to this.
pumping.
I
I don't know. Well, I did lose weight though.
I bounced right back, man. I get that
Oh, and
muscle
speaking
memory
of that,
shit.
before we get back in, because we still got plenty to talk
Conspiracy.
about.
I was waiting to jump on this.
But I wanted to say real quick. Yeah, your thing. I know you got real quick. I'm not sure exactly when it's gonna come out, but we were going to announce that Joey's gonna be adding. I'm not sure if it's gonna be a category or segment, like probably segment maybe, men's health, because we feel like the older we're getting, like men's health and
Prostate health
really into that
especially.
shit, prostate
dude.
big time. Yes.
I was gonna check mine right after
No,
this episode.
I am. Yeah.
No, I'm doing it live for you guys.
Oh, I forgot the gloves, bud. Is that okay?
No, you didn't want
I'll
those.
warm my hands up. If you, my father's
Sounds
doctor
fine.
would always say when he was giving his prostate exam, if I see you fucking smiling, you're out of here, bud. But no. So I was gonna say real quick that, and also I have decided. Remember, so Weapon's gonna be doing a cooking segment. It's not gonna be all the time at first
Yeah.
because we don't have.
We just gotta build
so
the
we
intro.
got
It'll
it.
probably be whenever we go to
Men's
I
health,
need the
yeah.
intro from you, bro. We gotta figure out an intro.
And-
Maybe
Oh, speaking of next weekend, we
Yeah.
can shoot at my spot. So
Okay,
they're
yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
out, so.
because
I'll talk to you
because
off the air about
sometimes it is like
I'll
you
come
know
up with
easier,
something.
yeah.
I'll come up with
So,
something.
and the last
we'll talk
thing-
off about that. I'll tell you.
Before I let you run free with your conspiracy thing, is remember remember me and you were kind of like brainstorming what I could do for like for a second, whatever. I came up with it. Given the way that the world is and everything, I think this is a great fucking idea. I'm gonna do a prepper segment, like how to prep for if electricity went out or water and stuff. Like it's basically food, water, and gas is a big thing. But I'm gonna go through that shit. So that's just a little teaser. Mr. Jory, hit him with this fucking shit you got.
So I'm just curious, and I'm gonna get everyone involved here at the round table.
Yes, sir.
Conspiracy wise, let's go back to this Israel and Palestine thing. How can, and you guys can answer this question for me, I'm just gonna kind of pose this out here and let you guys go further deep into this. How can Israel, which is the size of New Jersey, and like I said earlier, you can take a helicopter ride from West Bank to Gaza, which is actually diagonal, so it's actually a longer trip. And it takes 45 minutes to get there, right? Yeah, because Gaza's down here, West Bank's up here, right? So it's a diagonal versus a horizontal. You'd be at the ocean, be at the Mediterranean quicker than 45 minutes.
That's why
if you
they
went
say
west
from the
across.
river to the sea.
It's so
You shall be free.
It takes like 45 minutes to get from West Bank to in a helicopter down. There it goes.
No. Did you just kick that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, boys.
So
It wouldn't be a Sunday's episode if I
Why?
did knock something over.
now explain this, right? This wall that they've built that has surrounded Gaza has sensors in it. It has drones. It has guard outposts, and it is extremely high, and it is high tech. It is the most high tech wall in the world. Period. It surrounds the entire thing. It took the military 3 to 6 hours to even start to go inside to eliminate these terrorists. How can that be possible? On top of you have the biggest and best in the world counterintelligence agency. You have all of this into a pot. How could you be caught off guard and not know that it was coming or have any kind of intelligence?
Well, what do you think about that?
When you sent a podcast the other day, I forget what the guy's name is. I think he's Iranian too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patrick Bet David.
Yeah,
Dope
the
podcast.
guy who was on there, he was a young kid or whatever. He was like 30 or something like that. And he had the tie on or whatever. He was saying too, he's like, I've been to like the border or whatever. And he goes, you can't like walk like a certain amount of feet without seeing a soldier with a friggin' machine gun.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, so that's like crazy that there wasn't more people there like ready to go. Like, I don't know. I mean, did they run when that shit was happening? I don't know. Like, ooh. Like that's, I don't know. It's fucking, I mean, like you said, some of the most like the highest forms of technology, like with that wall. And they just managed to go over, through,
Bro,
under,
they drove.
whatever.
There's videos of a bulldozer.
There was boats too,
With
right?
there was 6 different modes of transportation.
I mean, but-
they came 6 different directions.
Yeah.
But to the wall itself, like you're saying, they have ground. They have
Wouldn't
sensor-
people be looking, like watching, like
Palestine
Yo, there's a
needs to-
bulldozer coming. Get
They
ready.
have
Like,
sensors in the ground that knows you're coming before you
Yeah.
even hit the wall,
Yeah.
bro. Hundreds of yards ahead,
Yeah.
knowing that, so that gives them, so you're not caught off guard by 1,000 rushing the wall.
little
They know
fishy.
it's coming. That way they
Yeah.
can order in. Hey, there's fucking 1,000 terrorists coming, and then the Air Force comes in. You don't think that they didn't plan for that kind of, as Israel? You don't think there wasn't a defensive strategy already set up for this? They didn't know that.
Here's what I think, honestly,
I just think it's
and this is
fishy, man.
allegedly because we cannot be
Yeah, we
sure.
don't know.
But
This is
I think
opinion.
that it was the amount of people that you can probably count on one hand, the higher up peoples. I think because of everything you just said, that they knew it. And there was maybe soldiers and stuff that was looking at computer screens and stuff, but they were probably being told, no, that's
Somehow
just a,
don't do it, yeah.
that's just a. So I think that yes, that they did know. I don't know if they knew what it was going to be, how bad it was going to be, but but they were like.
Knew something was going to
But basically, and this
Why
doesn't,
though? You asked
and this
why.
doesn't make it right.
Why?
And I'm gonna say right now, and it doesn't make it right. But they know eventually something like that is gonna happen. So they're thinking like, if they're gonna do it, let's let it happen so we can eliminate
So we can use that.
the problem.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
To eliminate Hamas?
using civilians to.
Now, what was going on? Let me ask you, if either one of you did.
I'd actually know.
This whole in the year 2023, what was going on inside Israel all year that also has a major reason why this
Benjamin
happened?
Netanyahu protested
Why?
because Benjamin Netanyahu is trying to
Yeah.
reform the judicial system, and the people
Yes,
are pissed off.
that's right.
So this could possibly be one of those. Look over here.
Hey,
Look over here.
We're gonna sign this.
Well,
so you
they're
guys are looking.
they're tickling your sphincter over here.
Yeah.
So there
Or
was.
use something similar to like what the U.S. did with the Patriot Act. Something
Oh,
similar.
So, so you're saying they were this close to being civil war because there's a left and a right over there.
Yeah.
Some of the people were backing the decision of Netanyahu, some weren't, and there was going to be major protests going on inside that country.
I mean, did you know that? Like, as far they might be saying one thing, but like as far as the Biden administration goes, like these people are not. I mean, doing what they're supposed to do. Like, I did appreciate that Biden, because I don't think that Biden is like the people who run the squad.
No.
I think even in the
I don't think Biden knows
like
who Biden
every
is.
group of every people, there are different people in these groups. But the people who are the squad, who are like screaming for, and like they posted memes of hang gliders with dudes that like I just don't understand that. But like AOC, like I just
You
don't
posted
understand.
something, bro. You posted
shit for
something.
brains?
No, you posted something that is.
Oh,
in-
Rashida Tlaib? Yes.
Outside the office
Oh.
of Elon Omar, right?
No, Rashida Tlaib.
Has the flag, has the Palestinian flag next to the what flag?
Next to the LBGTQ flag, and let me break this down. Or do you want it?
No, bro, hit that. That's,
Yeah,
let's get
because
that.
I posted
that
shit.
makes no sense.
Yo,
that makes no fucking sense.
this video. It was a picture, but it's a video that I made with shit. It got the most likes on our TikTok
makes sense, though, like-
ever. So
Explain to them
I
what
put
you
a
did and
fucking.
why
All
you
right,
did
so
that.
outside of her door, she has Palestinian flag, a U.S. flag, something, and then I think there's 4, right? And then LGBTQ plus flag. So I put a clown on her door.
Does anyone want to
and
tell her?
I put, does anybody want to tell Rashida Tlaib the bad news? That do you know what happens to people of the LGBTQ plus community?
In the
And I'm
world.
telling you because I don't have any
In
hate
that country?
for these
Yeah.
people. If you're an adult, like I say all the time, if you're an adult, have a not just beheading. They take you up on buildings and they
Throw
throw it
you
up
off,
the fucking
yeah.
roof. So you're telling me that you can't those things. This is what we go back to.
Yes.
Some tribes don't fucking mix. They're like oil and
You
water.
can't. You can't mix. You can't.
Fuck.
In this instance,
Yes.
In this instance,
Points.
there's no gray area in this instance. In this instance, when you have people that are absolutely against the LGBTQ, 100% against them, because
There's
I know
no way around it.
There's no way. You flying those two flags next to each other. It's like you look like a hypocrite. You lose credibility.
And the
like that.
government knows it because there's a reason why the government only tries to import the ultra progressive Marxist LGBTQ plus fucking agenda into certain
To the
countries.
scientific notation.
Like that's the
Yeah.
biggest import that that the U.S. has right now is the LGBTQ plus agenda, and they
Which is less than
but you
5%
don't
in
but you
population.
notice for some odd reason you don't see them trying to push that stuff in the Middle East, in Asia.
Oh, I wonder why.
Like even the movies, like the movies where there's like a same-sex couple that kisses, that gets scrubbed from the movie before it goes over there.
Yep.
So we appease them, but we force our own people.
That
Figure
sounds
that
like
one
control.
out.
That sounds like I'm trying to enforce control over you. I want you to think what I want you to think.
Well, that's what Larry Finkel said.
Who?
Larry Finkel,
Oh.
BlackRock, the richest man in the world. If you wanna, if you wanna,
I thought you were
be
going to say
technical
Ray
about it.
Finkel, my bad. I was
So
thinking-
the president of BlackRock, Larry
thought I was gonna
Finkel,
slap him out of
the
the fucking
president
episode.
of BlackRock, Larry Finkel said that his ESG, we all know what ESG
Oh, yeah.
is, right? And if you don't,
Look it up.
it's points that you can look it up to, but it's points that you get in your company for how many diverse people you have. just coming down to
How well you follow
race,
Green, how well
race,
you follow the Green
and sexual
plan, too.
orientation, and what political party you're in, pretty much.
And how much carbon you guys put out as a company, bro. That's
Yeah.
multi-layered. It's the entire agenda.
And guess what?
Wrapped into one.
Carbon credits.
You-
All that shit into a credit score.
Guess what? All you fucking clowns who don't realize what's going on with all this renewable energy stuff, if we get it to be efficient and practical, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But you know the carbon?
It's not.
You know the carbon that they're trying to fucking eliminate? It's you, bud.
No shit.
It's fucking you.
Yeah, remember I
Yo, I'm not
posted
even
something about that.
I don't even.
Carbon-
Yo, listen. I don't even subscribe to what he just said because I'm not even about. Oh, carbon neutral car bullshit. What happens if we turn every fucking car into an electric car? Then they have the controller press one button and no one has any modes of transportation.
Yeah.
The reason why
all
gas
about.
and shit. The reason why
That's
gas
what
and
these
oil.
about. Why do we need these?
will
Because they
never-
can just turn
Gas and
on.
oil, it allows you the freedom to make the decision. You're not being told what to do because you can go to a gas station and fill it. They don't have the ability to turn you off.
They're
Gas
fucking
and
with
oil
people's
never
bank
go
accounts
away, dude.
in this
It'll
country.
never go
Look at Canada.
Debit cards, bro. Why do you think everyone has a debit card now?
Look at our
They can
next
shut
door
your shit off in a
neighbor.
minute.
Yeah.
So
Look at
worse,
that, and
so-
sometimes that shit will happen because they'll say there's some
They already did.
like you shopped twice at Lowe's, so
You're all
it could
done.
be a
Yeah.
cut up because it could be
They did it
fraud.
in Canada. I know it's not the United States.
Dude,
but they did it
Canada,
to the truck
our
drivers.
fucking
Yep.
To the
next door
fucking truck
neighbors
drivers, bro. What?
are an authoritarian. Dude, Justin Trudeau only got
He's a clown.
like 32%
He's
of
a
the vote,
clown.
so he doesn't even have the popular vote, and he's fucking in there.
Remember seeing-
Castro's fucking baby?
Remember seeing him
allegedly.
saying, he's like, oh, we're a country, we grew up with guns, and we'll never
Yes,
stray from
when he
guns.
was younger,
All,
and I was
guns,
like,
all guns are banned.
you must keep all turn in your guns,
Like,
bro.
bro, that's crazy.
Bro, come for these guns.
Talk about, oh, man.
Not that we have any guns, but if we do,
Oh, I
come
got
for these
guns right here. 1 and 2,
Oh.
baby. Come get them.
The beach is not where.
Come get 'em.
So listen, let's get off the
I'm a
silliness for
50
minute,
cal,
and
Back to the Israel conspiracy theory.
The Israel
what do you guys-
conspiracy theory.
So do you think it has to do with the fact that
Need some clips.
they don't like Hamas, they want Hamas off their land, and B, that there was, and here's the other thing that we haven't touched upon yet either.
Yeah.
There was such turmoil inside of Israel where there was a straight divide where two parties, and civil war is about to happen. So with this happening, do you see what Netanyahu did? Netanyahu is the president, right? He's one person. You have the left and the right. He made a war council and brought them all together under the war council. Here's your one. Now you have one. You have a war council instead of having divided parties with separate viewpoints, one to counteract the other, right? Because that's really what it comes down to. You need a yin and a yang, right? There's no yin and a yang there no more. It's now one. You have a war council for Israel.
because the yin
Think
and
about
the
it.
yang,
Where is the yin and the yang?
yin and
There
the
isn't.
yang is the checks and balances.
There is no checks and balances. There's a war
No, it's
council.
supposed to be. It's supposed to be. I'm
But
sorry.
now there's not though because he
Should've
brought
did
him.
that.
It's a
That is
genius. If you think about it, it's evil genius move. I'm not saying I like it, but if you think about it from a, it's
I
a
got a
good
prediction
idea.
for you that if you think it's a possibility. So, Ukraine, the president of Ukraine said during war we are not going to hold elections. So he's going to remain
Mm-hmm.
the president in all elections. I do believe. I think I'm right. Israel has said they're not doing elections until this is taken care of.
I think the election just happened though, didn't it?
Yeah, but so what
It's
I'm
not
saying
due
is
for a couple
there's
years,
been a
right?
lot of chatter across the world and rumors that there's a possibility that next year when it's time that they're gonna say that we might, because by that time we might be fully involved in a world conflict, that they're gonna say we can't hold
Can
an
we just
election.
stop, dude?
Bro,
Can we
I'm
just-
gonna go down another conspiracy theory with what you just said, bro. Peep this.
Do you think that there could be some validity?
No,
to
no,
it,
no.
though?
I agree with you. And no,
Yeah.
the first person I heard say
Definitely
this, and this is crazy, was Roseanne Barr, who is as crazy
Yeah.
as she is, bro.
Yeah.
She said this on
She's
a
not even
podcast.
crazy, dude.
She said
She's
this on a
not even
Timcast,
crazy.
the Timcast podcast months ago, and she's been right about a lot of shit. Now think about this. We've already known that there's 200 terror people that we've grabbed at the border. I know we were talking about this before, and they were like, "Yo, what do you think? People are like writing down their names on paper." No, it's facial recognition is how they're grabbing them.
Yeah, yeah.
These people, it's
You're talking
facial
about our border, right?
on the southern border. So,
So-
we've already nabbed 200 coming through the border. What about, and they're Hamas, they're like you were saying, they're military age males. How many have we missed? And if this continues on, if we grab 20%, 30% of them, 50% of them, some are still filtering through. We have an entire year before we have elections. What happens if they start attacking
It's too
elections?
much
So
time.
I listened to I forget it was part of the problem or something the other day. They were talking about how many people like down at the border have already gotten caught coming through or whatever.
It's like 200.
And no, but Afghanistan has like something like 5,000 people or something that tried to get
I've already-
into the
yeah.
U.S. and like I think they got stopped, most of them. So, but that was the highest count was Afghanistan, and I was like, whoa, I'm like, damn.
fucking
So when they were all like sneaking through the border.
That's what I mean. And I think, and again, I'm not saying this is
Crazy.
true, but this is conspiracy wise. If you had pockets of that throughout the United States, and it comes election time, and they start going to polling places and start opening fire. What do you think? And what do you think is gonna happen? The United States government would then say, "Oh, we have insurgency on our soil. We're at war with them. We're at war. Guess what? We're not doing having the fucking election."
Yep. Yep.
Everyone's looking at
that.
COVID. I feel like everyone's looking at COVID, right? Because that's the least thing, the newest thing. I'm thinking that terrorism, as we're seeing in Israel, is probably
The new virus?
a greater part. Is the new form of what we're gonna see.
Man, you gonna close them? Your voice is scratchy.
That's because when you're fucking an
That's
alpha,
because you're
like this,
spitting
it
so
happens.
much goddamn fucking knowledge and facts.
When your Jory Tate
You start
dropping
getting
knowledge, it
goddamn
happens.
fucking out of breath and shit.
Facts.
Yes.
Right?
Points.
Let's get it.
All right. So what are we going next? What do you want to obviously there's plenty here to fucking go through. So are people worried about a nuclear holocaust? No fear. Don't look like this. No fear mongering type shit. I just want to know if
But
people,
it's not a possibility.
It's a
right.
possibility, but I think
Anybody who says it's
no, I think it's highly unlikely
impossible.
though, bro. Because you gotta figure wherever you nuke that area, and I guess like a lot of this is about land grab, right? Like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, people say
but if
tactical.
you nuke an area, you can't even occupy that
Can't
area
go
for a
and get-
long
yeah.
fucking time. So it's of no benefit to anyone to nuke. It is to wipe out the indigenous population,
Yeah.
but you're not even gonna go settle there for fucking
Yeah.
umpteen amount of years. So really, it's not in the benefit.
I
of
would
anyone
argue
to
that
nuke.
some places, we never would want to go there. So, like the Middle East.
No,
Well,
but
you
no,
know,
but it's
well, that's all right.
specifically talking about
I
Israel
know
and
it's
Gaza.
right. That's the only thing.
Talking about Hamas and Israel, though, if Israel
I can be
nukes
a dick.
the Gaza Strip to reclaim their land, they're not doing it for 20 years. Think about it, radiation levels and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Nuclear
That's
oil.
a good point. That's a good point.
so what's the benefit then? You wipe out the indigenous people there, people you don't like. Cool, but I don't get that area for
But
fucking
what about?
18 years.
But what
like,
about the like? I'm not even just talking about like that. I'm talking about like you know how Russia's like we're gonna use tactical nukes. There's no like I get it. It's a small there's a small nuke. But what I'm talking
Fallout
about is
radiation.
when
wind currents?
somebody for whatever reason finally gets the balls enough to push that button and everybody starts pushing that button. A total annihilation. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but do you think anyone of this thinks about I wanna wipe myself out, including
No, but
you know what I mean?
but
that's
that's
what's
what-
gonna happen.
maybe.
You don't think like
Maybe.
somebody like
That's what's gonna
You don't think
happen.
like someone like Kim Jong Un believes that he's just gonna like nuke like the United States and then everything's gonna be beautiful? Like that's I think I really
Honestly,
think shit
he's
like
I
that.
don't think anyone's
He's
that
so out of
stupid.
touch.
You're not
He's
you're
so
not
out
in
of
that
touch with
position.
everything.
And you're that dumb.
Oh, by the way, did you fucking see the video of Trump showing how he dealt with foreign policy? I know you guys must have seen this. It's been going viral. So it's him shaking Putin's hand. He pulls him in.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Because the guys stay way back because they're like very paranoid because
Mm-hmm.
of it. So he pulls him in. Kim Jong Un. He pulls him in. Like it's an alpha
It's a
move.
dominant.
It's an alpha
posture.
move, but it's also saying like I'm your friend.
Donovan.
it's a
It's
Don't-
alpha. It's alpha, but he's also saying like I'm your friend as long as
but
you
as long
as you want to be
don't
my friend.
it's like don't fuck around, bro. Because look, but at the same time,
be nice.
we can be yes.
Dude, he's the first president to do that. And has any other president
Never been to North
after?
Korea.
Yeah.
Not one.
Don't mess with Donnie's
If
dominance.
you people want to talk about, because you're always talking about goddamn precedents, you want to talk about, dude, his fucking foreign policy, no one can deny it. It was on fucking
The Abraham Accords, bro,
fleek.
he did
On
so
fleek.
much good. If you look at Joe Biden in the couple years we've had him here, and everyone said the world hated us after Trump, right? No, the world hates us after Joe Biden. He has done nothing but destroy our international
And that
credibility.
is why Hamas
make us
just
look
did.
bad, dude.
That's why
Terrible,
Hamas
terrible,
just
though.
did what they did because of what Trump put in play. Saudi Arabia was this like we're gonna finally try to stop finding some peace, at least a little bit in the Middle East. And
Through
Hamas
trade.
It was
trade.
actually.
and Hamas couldn't have that, man.
No, they can't. Which is weird because it's like Iran and Hezbollah is one type of Muslim and the Saudis are the other. They're mortal enemies.
Yeah.
So why would they want to stop it? So they look at it like they'd rather stop it with the
Sunnis and
Jews
Shiites.
more than they would with their other mortal enemy.
Sunnis and Shiites is a fucking story like
In
since
itself,
the beginning of time.
That's a
man.
story within itself.
Like if you want to go, like we don't even have enough time
That's
on
going
this
back.
show.
That's going
to get
thousands
into-
of years.
Like I mean, what I feel like it's coming down to in a way too, which is very weird. Like
Iran's Persia in the 300 movie.
you familiar with the Roth? I know you are. So I don't. The Rothschilds white papers. Like, this is part of their plan for the whole world to be under one umbrella.
Yeah, but you
Oh,
can't.
yeah.
It's not possible.
You can't.
But they're trying to push it.
It's like good luck, dude.
That's why you're
Good
seeing
luck.
violence.
Bro, I think the United States is playing that playbook right now. If you think about it, we've given hundreds of millions of dollars to Hamas, right? Yet we come running to the aid of Israel. So we're playing both sides of the card. If you go back to like all these world wars, there's always one company or one faction of family that's like, I'll supply you with weapons. Shh, I'll supply the
you
other
with
side with
weapons,
weapons.
yeah.
We're playing that same
All
dynamic.
three. I know, I've
We're
said
playing
over
the
and
same
over again,
dynamic
man.
right now.
It's like God of
We've
War.
given you the money. We've given you some guns and technology. Yet when you use it against the people that we know you're going to use it against, we run to their aid.
Well, and the thing is, too, that I thought was
It's
fucked
always when
up
the economy's down.
is
always
other countries trying to tell Israel that their reaction to what Hamas did should be proportionate. Proportionate. So you're saying you want Israel to go in and grape and murder women and children and cut their heads off?
You know what I've heard?
I
I don't think
I
you're
got a
saying
gripe
that.
with that.
Now, my point being,
I've heard different
my
on that.
point being, after 9/11, did any country tell us we need to? Were we proportionate? We actually did shit that wasn't even right. That didn't have nothing to do with it. 2 20-year wars.
Bro, we attacked
Trust me,
Afghanistan.
USA
when we
is
were
not
told that
perfect.
Iraq had
The government's not perfect. We just happen to be the best place to
Bro,
live.
we were told by our
in the
government
world,
that
and
we're
you can't
attacking
deny
Iraq
that.
due to
If you
weapons
deny
of
it,
mass destruction, and we
head the
attacked
fuck
fucking
out, Chief.
Afghanistan.
Yeah.
I
That's
listened
like
to,
you. That's like me going, you punch me in the face, and I go
You
punch
rebuild
you
it.
in the face
All the
because
con-
you hit me.
All the
That
contractors
makes no
over there.
sense.
I listened to a
They wanted the
podcast.
poppy and they wanted the oil, bro. We talked about this.
I listened to don't do it. No. I listened to a podcast with Barry Weiss or whatever, and she had
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Condoleezza Rice on
And
there,
Barry
right?
Weiss is a female,
She's
right?
alright,
Yeah. And Condoleezza Rice, dude, it was just weird, man. It was like as
Terrible,
much as she was like, she's like, talking about.
She looks like the Crypt Keeper.
By the way, she was involved with like more than five incidents that happened in Gaza when she was in.
When she was Secretary of State?
when she was secretary. Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
So and I didn't realize that. I was like, oh.
Why
Yeah,
do we
I
have?
remember the 90s.
Can I
I
ask you a
don't know that.
question?
But go
Why
ahead.
do we have people like this in Washington, in Congress, in the House of Representatives? Like,
Because we elect them.
shouldn't it be people who love this country? Like, was it Ilhan Omar who said 9/11 was a day that some people did some stuff?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You
She's
fucking
awesome.
bitch.
Flat for them. As you
Real
should.
quick, guys, put on your earmuffs. I want to have a quick discussion with Ilhan Omar. Is it not true? Correct me if I'm wrong, but
Brotherfucker.
didn't you come? Well, that too, but I wasn't getting into
I
that.
will.
Did you not come to this country as a refugee and benefit from everything in this country
Mm-hmm.
and become what you are in the position you are in this country?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't got love for this country?
Nope.
Bye
bye.
listening to
I was
Condoleezza
gonna say
Rice
the
talk
fuck out of it,
though.
but I already said it a few times.
Listen to her talk though. She just started saying, she's like, oh well, if you really look at it, like yeah, we've made mistakes and this and that, and with 9/11 and whatever, and obviously going into fucking Afghanistan, going into, and she goes, oh, I mean, if you really think that Saddam Hussein was like a great, a good leader or this that, I mean, you go ahead. I mean, he killed millions of people and this and that. Dude, no, I get it, but. Who did I?
But there was
I heard
no
somebody
weapons of
else
mass
say.
destruction.
I heard somebody else say though that
It's a fucking point,
Saddam
bud.
Hussein actually kept kind of the terrorists in
Bro,
check.
they were afraid of him.
Check.
Bro. I was
Yeah,
hoping if you didn't touch upon that, I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
pounce
And I
on
was
that.
like,
That was my
damn,
next
I-
shit.
Yes.
But anyway,
Points,
saying I
Killing
agree with him.
killing him created a power vacuum out there, and that's why you're seeing
Deep cut there,
That was
deep
fucking
cut.
what was the fucking group that came out of there? Trump fucking came in 3 months and wiped out.
The freaking not the Kurd.
No, the fucking the terror group. No, the terror. No, the terror
Terror
group.
going after them. ISIS.
Yes, ISIS.
But
That was
listen,
what created ISIS and fucking wiped them out.
but ISIS isn't wiped out because basically like Hamas is ISIS like.
But they're all
ISIS
intertwined, though.
lives.
No,
They
ISIS
do, but
lives.
they don't.
No, but basically, right? So Rice's thing.
I know they took out a
what she
lot of
was-
their higher ups, so they've been in a little bit of chaos.
What-
But they seem to be starting to get their shit together.
So he wasn't been in office for fucking 4 years.
Yo, what Condoleezza was kind of getting at though.
Trump.
Yo, she kept on saying, she goes like, well, basically, like we kind of have to fight these. Well, we have to be the people who go in to help and this that. And I'm just thinking in my head, I go, this broad is such a war hawk, dude. Still, and it's just like, wouldn't you just admit like, yo, we fucked up and like you messed up with everything after 9/11. you like look at like all the mistakes, the 20-year war. Like you think we had to be like the way she was talking about it though, man. I suggest everybody go listen to the Barry
Look
Weiss,
at the
Lisa Rice, man. And it
Yeah,
was like,
shut up.
damn,
Yeah,
like,
No, she was doing.
I'm
And I was
gonna,
just
I'm
like-
gonna check it out. You sent it to me.
Bro, she's
just
on
sitting there like, what
There's
the
mad clips. There's mad clips on YouTube, bro. If you look her up on YouTube, bro, you can catch mad clips of her talking. And the shit she says, you're like,
crazy.
if you look back at it now, from how the world is now, you look back at what they were saying then, you'd be like, wow, the balls on the. But at that time,
And that's what's
nobody looked at
fucking.
it, yo.
Dude, what
That
is
man-
wild is that people in this age, in this day and age, with all the technology we have, really think that like something they said even like a few months ago that they're gonna say the exact opposite, bro. It's on the fucking record,
We
bud.
see you.
And now, unfortunately, we
We
get into an
see
even
you.
scarier place where deep fakes
Yeah,
are gonna
yeah,
start
AI
fucking,
AI dude,
and it's
bro.
gonna be propaganda dropped on us, and we're
Mhm.
not gonna know what the fuck is
No.
what. Like you're really gonna sit after being like, I believe nothing I hear and like very little of what I
Yeah,
see
see,
because
yeah.
that's what we're going to.
But they-
We're going to a world of disinformation because stuff that they call
But they win. That's a win for them.
misinformation a lot of times is actually real legit information. It's just they
But
don't
that's a win
appreciate
for them,
it.
bro. Because me and you talking about this. What happens when you flood the scene with so much disinformation and sprinkle in the real information? The common person isn't going
Gonna
to
know.
sift through it to
Yep,
find
yep.
it. They're gonna walk away, and that goes back to what I was saying earlier. When you walk away from it, now you're part of the problem because it takes good
Yeah,
men
dude,
to
sure.
do nothing in order for evil to succeed. And as you walk away from it, you're taking good people that would have normally stuck up and done something. They have now removed themselves from the fucking situation. So
Right.
again, it's a multi-layered onion, and they found another layer to be like, we can even get more because there's a pocket of us, and they keep slicing it. They can't get us as a whole, but they can come in and slice a corner here and a corner there with this policy, that policy. Slice. Oh, too much disinformation. This now we have this pocket's going smaller and smaller until there's nothing left.
people are not gonna
Yes.
go on there anymore, man.
Points.
Conspiracy theory.
Hey, quick question for everybody. Hit us up. I might put it on as a question on the Sundays group too.
Sundays.
But what do you feel like for all the non-believers out there? If you look at when Trump was in office, you look at his relationship on the world stage with all these world leaders, and then you look at the Biden administration and his relationship with all these world leaders. Does something not tell you that like if we want peace, that there's a guy for the like
There's a method or there's a way.
the
to
guy
achieve
literally
it,
says
to achieve it.
the guy literally says I would just like to see people stop dying.
Yeah.
And people try to
And
say,
that's
oh,
right,
he
that's
just
right.
he just
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe it.
That was a CNN lady. The
Do you know what I
more
love
they're trying to
too?
fucking push.
Do you see how more and more, and like we say about every
More and more morons.
tribe, all people, you can't group them all together, but there's a shit ton of black and Hispanic people who are supporting Trump now more. I know they were there before, but there's even more. And all these rappers are coming out with these Trump 2024 songs and shit. Like I seen this dude who was saying Trump officially is in word.
And boom.
an N-bomb because of the way he's being treated by this fucking government, dragged through the
Right,
fucking
right.
court
Yeah,
systems.
yeah.
Yet Biden did the same shit, probably worse. Him and his son,
His time's
and
coming.
they're sitting
though.
fucking pretty.
His time's coming.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
His time's coming.
Because
You know, bro,
I feel like that's the
only.
only. I don't think this motherfucker even wants to be president anymore. I think he's only doing it because to protect him and his family. If you want to
Because he
know
has to.
something, but what my prediction
He's
right
the
now,
puppet.
and we can go. We should start doing this more often. I know we've done a little bit. My prediction right now is that when the election goes off in 2024, it won't be Biden versus Trump. Neither of them. It's going to be two different people.
I hope, man.
That's my prediction.
Honestly, I really do. As much as like,
Biden's
I don't
gonna
know,
die or something's gonna happen.
Alright, no.
His dementia's gonna, and Trump is either they're gonna say he decided he doesn't want to, or they're gonna take a shot
Yes,
at him.
listen, all right, and I don't even.
Or they're gonna put him in jail.
Listen, I don't agree 100% with that, but I'm gonna go with what you just said. If it isn't those two, which two do you think it's gonna be then? If not those two,
I think it's gonna be.
I think it's
even
gonna
though
be
even though his
RFK and Newsom.
even though I was gonna say two things. Even though his campaign is starting to poop out, definitely Newsom versus either DeSantis or Kennedy.
What about Vivek? You think Vivek?
I think Vivek.
I think
Still, I
Vivek
think he
is
might-
good.
you think
I
he
like
stands
his
a chance?
ideas. I think
Too young, though,
he's a
man.
little
I
wet
think
behind
that's
the
the
ears.
problem. Yeah.
But is that something that could be potentially a good thing in this country? Because he's a younger guy who has I shouldn't say correct, conservative values and morals. You know what I mean?
You
Like,
think if he hit TikTok and hit that lower demographic,
you know,
got
he's
got
not
them to
for
vote,
child
and
pornography.
got them to vote for him? You think-
unfortunately, too, I think
I
people
like
are
him.
so shallow that they really do just look at age and they go, "Oh, He's too young. Dude, look at his company and like what like,
What he's achieved
Yeah,
in his-
all
You know
his
what's funny? You know what's
achievements.
funny on the opposite?
He's a
It's
man.
crazy.
Bro, you know what's funny on the
Yeah.
opposite end? They say you're too young, but look at the people's age in the office now. They're too fucking old.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
can we find?
Yeah.
Can we get the
Yeah.
porridge? Can we get the
Yeah.
porridge in the middle, please?
Yeah.
Like if they're too young,
Or can we get the people out that have to eat porridge?
Yeah,
So-
yeah, no shit. Why do we have
probably
89-year-olds in
gonna
office, but you won't let a 30 or 40-year-old in?
minutes.
Come on, like where's the balance here?
Yeah.
He's too young, but these old people. You're too old. You're too far removed.
old,
dude.
And it's not too old as in age. You're too far removed.
I'll say
Look
it.
at the
I'll say
Senate
it,
in
I'll say
How
it.
Congress.
changes, man.
I'll say it again and again and again. You got to be a certain age to be the president. You should be a certain age that.
So you can't.
That's
what
your
you
cutoff.
can't-
And check this out. We're gonna know for sure. We're gonna know for sure on
70, whatever.
both sides of the aisle. We're gonna know for sure who's who and what's what because the people who are against the insider trading shit
yeah,
and
yeah.
everybody, and also the people who want an age an age restriction, they're writing up bills right now. So you're gonna see who fucking wants that shit. Because that's right. You shouldn't be going into there. You get paid a salary of like a few $100,000 a year, and then all of a sudden you're walking out with $50 million in your pocket.
more.
How'd that happen?
Yeah,
Or more?
Yeah. Pelosi.
How the fuck did that shit happen?
How is it? Yeah, was it
Yeah, Pelosi's husband is more
is a better trader than the best.
Warren
people on Wall
Buffett
Street.
than Warren Buffett on paper.
I meant to look this up too. Is
That's it. You know
Pelosi
what?
out now? Is
Dan, you better stop
Pelosi
me again,
kicking
Dan.
around? Don't.
No,
do
they
it.
already did. They
They did.
already did.
Oh, yeah,
No,
yeah.
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about McCarthy getting taken, about being removed?
I think he handled it well with grace, actually, to tell you the truth.
No, what do you think about what's that say about the Republican Party?
That they're a fuck show. That they're dumb. They don't have any fucking plans of what to do right now.
No.
No, I'm
Democrats,
opposite of that. I'm
evil,
opposite of that. You
terrible.
don't think that was a good move? You think that was a bad move on the Republican Party to get rid of McCarthy?
I think no. I think it was a bad move to
I think they
to
should've
do
done
it
it.
and then allow there not to be a speaker for so long while shit's fucking popping off
Yeah.
around
They
the
just named one
goddamn
yesterday.
fucking world.
They just named fucking dude yesterday.
But so
who was that?
yeah, it was fucking
Yeah,
Jim
it's
Jordan.
Jim
I know who the fuck
Oh,
it
yeah,
is.
it was-
Because originally it was going to be Steve Scalise, who don't
Bro,
forget
they
everybody.
talking about Trump. I
A
hope Trump was gonna
Democrat,
take that, yo.
a Democrat. Well, that was something that somebody put out there that they said legally he could, but apparently legally he maybe couldn't. But
Oh.
Steve Scalise, remember a Democrat went and tried to
He's the one that
murder
got shot, right?
him
Did
and
he
his
get shot a couple years ago?
by a Democrat. It was a little ways back,
Oh,
2017.
yeah, but that was-
Wow.
Him and his Republican friends, they were having a softball game, and a Democrat came in and tried to murder them all. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. So he dropped out. Steve Scalise dropped out for some reason. I think he didn't have the votes
I thought
because everybody
Scalise-
wanted
I thought they talked about Scalise.
Jim Jordan,
He's
I'm
and
glad-
I wanted Jim
Up
Jordan.
on
it. Bro, listen,
And yes,
I'm-
I like McCarthy.
I like Jim Jordan.
I don't hate McCarthy. I just think he wasn't going to do what we needed him to do.
Bro, I think Jim Jordan getting that spot.
I think he was playing safe and
was
playing
dope.
like.
Bro, I love Jim Jordan.
Yeah.
You see the way you see
Oh.
like
I don't
there's
even
clips
know.
of him all
I
the
don't
time,
know
bro.
more.
Hammering people when he interrogates people, bro. He fucking goes in on them, dude.
And I bet you I showed a picture of. And also, what's the other bit? Gats. I think he's for real.
Like Gates.
Yeah, Gates.
okay,
Sorry,
Gates,
thank you,
Gates.
sir.
Not
Yes,
Gats, not Gats.
yes.
What are you talking about? Guns over
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Like,
No, Gates.
No,
I think
put the,
that
put the gun down, Paul.
I think that he actually cares about this country. Like it's.
Well, that's the problem, dude. It's like a lot of the
But when you do,
people,
they.
they just don't care.
But when they do care,
They really
like
don't.
they're out for blood. Like basically he ousted Kevin McCarthy. on his
care
own,
about the
pretty
money,
much.
man. Care about the money.
Right. You don't have to
Actually-
fact check everything I
Bro,
just told you. That's
Actually,
right.
that got brought up today in
bro,
church.
which is weird as shit, bro. Because if you look at like Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Recognize that guy's face.
she was fucking dude. She was all about McCarthy, bro. And she's like complete fucking outlier. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
We're probably gonna wrap up in like 20 minutes, whatever. But what do you guys think about? I think I just had a brain fart. Let me get back to it.
Paul, you got it. You can do
Oh,
it.
I saw somebody put real quick while I tried if I can get myself back. I seen somebody post a thing. Who would support Liz Cheney for Speaker of the House on X yesterday?
good Lord.
And I put like 5,000
Jesus.
laughing emojis. No,
Oh.
but no, and
No,
there
thank you.
was a thing I was gonna say, but no, I do think that Jim Jordan is gonna be a good thing. But my point I was getting is though, it's like I feel like, and we all know this, it's both sides. Washington isn't gonna fix Washington ever.
No.
So what is the fix? I don't know. but Washington's not going to fix Washington.
I
I think the Dems are evil. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Is it possible this point?
Ultra progressive Marxist fools. And I think the Republicans are fools who are sitting around letting shit happen, and they got
They're not
no
doing
plan.
anything.
And they got
Bro,
no plan.
that's my point, though.
Only a few of them.
Have we crossed the line where there's no coming
Have
back?
we jumped the shark?
There's a precipice.
we
where there's a
are-
line where once you go past, you're not.
Yo,
gonna
if we
go back.
didn't, we are like we're tiptoeing.
Bro,
around.
how do you?
crossed
No,
the
no, no.
fucking-
Go back to what
We're
you saying.
We
Go back to
crossed
what
the
you're saying.
goddamn line. man.
No.
How do you at this point with everything so fractured?
It'll be fine.
Dude, that's like taking a rock. It's like taking a rock and smashing a window. It hasn't shattered all the way, but it's spidered all the way through.
Yeah.
How do you repair this window?
Good thing they had tape on it.
How, at this point, with so many fractures in
Duct tape.
how
won't
do
do
you?
it. What do we do?
What do
It's
you
not.
do? How can you? When
gotta
do you start?
replace the
When do you
whole
say-
window.
Continue.
You gotta replace the whole window.
Listen, what is?
What's that? What's that though?
You need
what-
you need a good copy.
Well, here's the
And that's
thing.
Jesus.
You need to remove everything
Yeah,
there and put
Jesus.
something back new.
Oh, that brings up a
And
good
what's
question I
that?
want to ask you. But I'm going to say real quick.
Anarchy? It's we the people removing the government because the government. Once you put people in power, they're not going to relinquish power on their own. Sure,
They
I've
never
been
do.
corrupt. Here you
They
go,
never
guys.
do.
It's
But
back.
still-
Never ever.
Most of the
It's
Democratic
going to take us
Party.
to go up there and remove them. What's that called? What's that
Why
mean?
is this right
That's
here?
war. That's
Most
war.
of the Democratic Party still right now will tell you, they have no qualms about telling you, that they believe that the biggest terrorist threat to this country is still
Internal.
conservatives, Christians, Catholics. So it does appear that they would like people to be atheists because I think they want their religion, they want our religion to be the ultra
The
progressive,
dominant. Yeah.
Marxist, supremacist,
Because it creates a fucking
human supremacist.
it creates your like how you view things and where you make your decisions from. Your inner core of thought. It changes that to more open and progressiveness versus if you were super conservative because you were a Christian or whatever, call them that. Without that being there, now the needle starts to go from this over time.
I
over
forget.
time.
Were you not raised religious? You were.
Hmm?
Were you not really religious, or you were? I forget.
No, I'm fucking baptized, confirmated, the whole nine.
I mean, too. Catholic.
So the closest thing to being Catholic,
Episcopalian.
Episcopalian.
I know it.
Yeah.
My mom is actually a Protestant, but my dad.
I call your mom that.
My mom.
We call her a prostitute. What's wrong with
Hey,
you?
hey, Joey. If your father and a prostitute were in a building, who would you say?
Well, then you were created, weren't?
No. Just answer the question. If your father and a prostitute were in a building, who would you say? Just say
My
your
dad?
father, so I
My
can.
father.
What about your mother?
Oh.
Yes. No, but listen. I want to know. Did your pastor, before I get about
Touch
this,
you?
did your pastor touch on all the conflict in the world?
He did bring it up a little bit, but he
And what was
also, he didn't really bring it up that much. So and
He
also
didn't wanna get too
also I
involved.
was late
Hot
getting
topic,
in there
man.
because we had to get
Did-
Miles into.
Does he wear like
daycare
jeans and
thing.
like rock and roll t-shirts? And
No,
stuff?
no, just fucking.
But there is like a
Wears
rock
jeans
group, right?
and a button down.
There's like a rock group.
button down platinum. I mean, plastic.
Did you play Altar Boy again? Or?
Did you call him back?
But yeah, so I was raised Catholic too, and just for the longest time, so I broke this down. I'm not gonna break it down again. But so for the longest time,
Break it down.
I didn't really even believe in God, but now I do. But I don't believe in organized religion. But I'm almost starting to think, is it a thing that we might need again, as human beings?
Dude, yeah.
Religion, like
It's not. It's not.
for core
It
values.
depends on the person.
Yes and
man.
no. Yes and
Depends on
no.
the person.
But we need to police it.
Religion in college, right? Very similar trajectories. The things that are put in place are great.
College
They
reforms.
are meant to do good. But every time that you give a hierarchy like that, somebody gets to the top and they fucking ruin it. They ruin religion because over the years, religion was meant to give people. Like, so there isn't chaos in the world.
Morals.
There's some kind of rules
Morals,
in morals, right?
Like
So
don't
that
bang your neighbor's wife, don't murder people, don't steal from people.
So there can be
Don't
some kind
murder
of
your wife.
civic,
Make sure you go to church.
civilized.
I mean, I don't know why it's a sin to not go to church.
No, but like a civilized civilization, right?
Don't rape
not, it's
people.
not.
Great.
Again, you go to college, they higher learning, great thought, everything about it's great.
It's not
and then
great right
you
now.
put people in, you give it, and it gets corrupt. The same thing with religion. Religion got corrupt over the years.
Yeah.
Because they figured out this is a way, oh, this controls people. Well, if I can get to the top of this, I can control people. You will never lose that. In humanity, you'll never lose that. So anytime they implement the new religion or the new thing, there's somebody controlling behind it.
Yeah.
There's never freedom.
Yeah.
There's a I forget what it is. There's a Bible verse. I forget where it is or whatever, but it says.
Is it 16 bars?
No, it says move a piece of wood and I'm there. Move a piece of wood, and I am there. Move a rock, and I am there. And it's basically to go against the church. Like it's saying you don't have to go to church. Churches were established. They were there to take people's money and to, kind of keep things going.
Turn into a business.
Yeah, exactly. And I forget the movie, Stigmata or something like that.
Yeah.
Where in that it said that verse, and the church didn't want people hearing about that because it was like,
They
no,
want
you
you to
can
come to
still
church.
you can still worship God without having to go to
Yeah, you
go to a
don't
church.
need to go to
Yeah.
the institute in order to believe and
Exactly.
have some
Yeah.
kind of like morals and values without exactly.
Yeah, he's in here trying to ask people if Jesus is in their lives again.
Hey,
Send out the special response team.
Send Father Flake, and he has a special bond with him.
yeah, we got a code. Hallelujah.
Send Father Pickle Tickle over. All right, but anyways, at the end here, so we can take this car that we've just went off road and smashed into a bunch of trees and stuff.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
get it back on the road for the end of the show. I want to know, maybe a little prediction. What do you think ultimately is going to be the outcome here? If you had to take a guess, can it be reined in? Like people are saying, like obviously Israel's going to retaliate, but then after that, can they be reined in?
No, after that,
Can
what's the
Hamas
outcome?
be reined in?
No, because
Can we change anything?
what's gonna I think with again going back to they're surrounded by nothing but enemies. If we do wipe them out, you're gonna embolden the other enemies to then want to take out Israel. So now you're one-upping the level that we're at now.
Because what happens if Hezbollah and Iran fully commit?
Then
with
you're
Hamas?
gonna. I think World War III starts because
It's gonna be
you
a
have
Hezbollah
China.
time. I'll tell you that.
That's for damn sure. Dude, you have China and you have Russia,
on their side.
joining all them, and then you're gonna have the whole Western society
You're gonna have
join
us,
together, and
Europe.
and you're gonna have there's World War III. There's World War III. Because that's a real world war.
And is
When
there
you have
and is
seven
there
countries
any
on one,
and is there
fucking 12
anybody
on the
out
other.
there, honestly, that given everything that's happening right now, is there anybody out there that doesn't think that it's a possibility, just a possibility?
I think it's an absolute possibility.
How would it not be?
Yeah, how,
It's
exactly.
there.
How can it not be?
Yeah, it's not.
And for the first time,
You know?
I think ever, Biden seems to be talking a little bit tough talk. But, I do think that Biden doesn't agree, even though he pretends. I don't think he agrees with people in his party that are so far left. But they've got him on a fucking short leash. And he's a fucking dolt. You know what I mean? But he showed some strength for change. Because he really said, we can't say enough. Anybody out there that is thinking they want to take advantage of this situation, don't do it, because
Think
we will
twice.
fucking respond
Think
to you.
twice.
Think twice.
Yeah.
Because we will respond to you.
Yep.
Like basically, they're already saying.
That's not saber rattling, by the way, either.
No.
That's not say that. That's a direct fucking threat.
If it goes that direction, basically,
Shout out threat.
And the topics.
in a lot of ways, Afghanistan and Iraq, those were not wars, and Vietnam too, if you want to toss it. Those are not wars like World War I and World War III. Like this would be like a legit World War III.
You know what I just heard too? Somebody was saying, they say that the Afghan war, that was the longest war, 20 years, whatever. They go, not technically.
No, in history,
technically it's
100-year
Korea.
wars.
No, technically it's Korea, because we're still, you know what I mean? Like we're still, I don't know. I was just like,
If you want to talk
I
about
didn't know
wars,
that.
though, too,
I didn't
if you
know
want to talk about wars and the economy and shit like that, going back as far as the mind can fucking go, people have been doing this. People have been at war with each other to claim land, to try to
To get your
commit,
economy from diving.
to try to commit genocide, to try to get your economy popping, because especially in the United
Every
States,
war
like
creates-
fucking Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, fucking Big Rock is got a.
Bro, you start building shit. You start building ships. You start building missiles.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna ask
all
you.
of that shit starts, and then it regenerates your economy. And it's funny too. If you guys look at dips in economies per country, and then you lined up that chart, if you had a year chart with every year that there was a conflict within a country, and then you looked at the economic chart, I'm not saying 100% of the time they'll line up, but more times than not, they're gonna line up, boy.
Why do you think? Have you guys seen that Hillary Clinton? And it seems like every time there's some funky ass shit going on in the world, Benghazi, you fucking douchebag. But so
Watch that movie.
this bitch pops up.
16,000.
This bitch pops up. She's in. That's why we say that at the Wax Museum. That wasn't Times Square. I went to the Wax Museum and got in front of a wax figurine of Hillary Clinton. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Me sticking my middle finger in Hillary's face. But why, whenever there's evil happening, does she pop up on mainstream media, fucking stoking the fucking flames, dumping fucking gas on it.
She know-
She's out there calling Trump supporters deplorables again too.
She
See that shit?
She's just trying to be irrelevant, dude.
She's
No, you're trying to be relevant. You said irrelevant.
Relevant.
Yeah, no, she's trying. Yeah, she's trying to establish like her being relevant again.
Yeah.
Because I think it goes back to this too. Think about this. The
I think she can't
Democratic
help
Party,
herself either.
bro. The Democratic Party really doesn't have a defined front runner. So what happens? Like, so we think Gavin Newsom could be it. What if a year prior to the election, Hillary starts coming out real slowly to see if she can start building a support base again for her to run? Because you know damn well, dude, that's her ultimate goal.
She
Her
won't do
ultimate
it.
goal
She
is to be
won't do it
president,
because she'll
man.
take away from the Democratic vote. So yeah, definitely.
What about
So
this for a
whoever's gonna
card,
be
bro?
president.
We said earlier. What about this for a card? President Hillary Clinton, Vice President Michelle Obama. You don't think that wouldn't garner? Like, think about this.
Michael Obama?
Yeah, dude, listen, I'm not saying I'm with this. I am not saying I'm with this, but imagine that as a ticket. You don't think that wouldn't appeal?
Jesus
You don't think that
Christ.
wouldn't appeal to the leftist base and the far left? Bro, that's crazy.
But listen,
Yeah, we
what
gotta go
about
five
speaking
calls
of
out,
that?
boss.
Speaking of
gotta
that,
go 55.
yeah, whether she's vice president or
Either or.
president, what do you guys think about the possibility of Michelle Obama? Because it's fucking big
Say it
time
Talk
right,
about
talk
say it right, bro. Michael Obama.
everywhere you go.
It's the same hype though. Like,
Yeah, why did I don't want to I don't want to beat this to death, but real quick, why has Obama been like on a few like TV shows and shit and said when he tried to say Michelle, he said Michael? Is that a Freudian slip?
Oh, I didn't even hear it. I didn't know.
And
Dude, there's
then-
more than one.
and
Bro, there's more than
there's
one.
more than one.
There's a
I gotta
couple.
look that up.
Bro.
There's a handful. There's a
Like
handful.
if you want to check out one in particular, Bear Grylls. When Obama,
Oh, Bear
why the
Grylls?
fuck is the president on fucking?
On a survival show.
Yo,
Bible
you know
show.
that show is fake as shit, but honestly,
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
it though.
I do
It's
like
kinda-
it.
it's
No,
kinda
for real.
fun.
No,
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
No, but
for real.
some of the shit he does
I
ain't
used to-
fake, bro.
I used to watch
Dude
it.
drank his
Me
fucking
too.
piss.
Oh,
and
no, I
took
know.
a bite out of a dead animal and shit. Like,
Bro,
I mean,
it's
he
like
really,
cow dung.
but he
He's
really,
squeezing it for the juices
I
and
saw
shit.
but he really can survive in real life.
Yeah,
But no,
no,
you're right.
I
On
mean,
the show, there's like,
No, I'm sure he sleeps in a
And
hotel
he
and shit, but still. it's
Yeah,
fucking-
he goes sleeps in the hotel.
but like those, I mean, there's a lot of funky shit. Like all of those college letters that come out from Obama, like, and that's why I said I'll drop it now. I don't want to
Yeah.
beat the thing
No,
to death.
yo,
but-
no, you have a point though. It ties back to what you said. Why is he Freudian slip about Michael? And then those letters come out that says he had homosexual fantasies and blah blah blah, right? Bro, it all ties together. So if you were a
See
prosecutor,
the Photoshop of
if
Michelle
you,
with a
if
flat
you,
top.
bro, if you were a prosecutor in court, right, and you wanted to like try to prove something about somebody, you would bring that shit kind of in evidence and going, look, there's patterns here. It lines up.
Right, to
So
prove
why?
that-
So
no,
so that
evidence.
doesn't apply here though, but it would apply in the court of law.
Not to mention the
on,
fact,
bro.
I think we
Like-
mentioned this really quick, but there's news out again that apparently that his birth certificate from Hawaii is not legit.
Yeah.
Again, that's one of those
But
topics where there's been
it's
so
like-
much from
It's
both
just
sides.
at this point, I
At
don't
this
even
point,
fucking
you
care
can't-
anymore.
But that's they won, and this is what I was going back to. There's been so much information plus disinformation. The common person, even like us who
Yeah.
do podcasts like this, don't even give a fuck anymore. Guess what? They won because now we're not looking.
What do you think of the combination name that they made for Biden and Obama? Oh, Biden.
Oh Jesus!
I mean, Biden is an extension.
Oh,
of
Biddy
Obama.
Bama. Oh, Biddy Bama.
Hillary, Obama, and Biden are like all fucking
Crime families.
Yeah.
fucking
I mean,
sick fucks of
Yeah.
a feather flock together.
You know what you don't see anymore?
Sick
Check this out. This is what you don't see anymore. And if you go back some fucking 50, 60, 70 years, what happened to all the organized crime families in the country? You don't hear about them anymore.
they all went legit.
Hold on. You don't hear about them anymore. But they got into the government because the government, like the CIA and shit. Now
They
look
went
at how
legit. They went
now look
legit,
at how
so-called.
these now,
Or business.
But now
Yeah.
look at how these families that you just said, Obama, Biden, and Hillary Clinton, look at how they're formed. They're structured the same fucking way.
Yeah.
You think maybe they infiltrated it and now they've morphed from street criminals like Al Capone to the criminals that run the country
Yeah. Yeah. bro.
That's
in the
a
same
good
type of
fucking
organizational
point,
fashion.
man.
Conspiracy theory, maybe. Okay, you know what I mean? I'm obviously going on a limb on this.
No, dude. There's nothing wrong, dude. Look at all the stuff that Alex Jones racks his brain on and he puts out there. And you know, people say, it's just that he throws so much shit against the wall. Something's bound to
Still
say.
80%
No,
right.
but
Still
80% right.
He's got
Dude.
he's got all types of people on
Do you notice that they want to
All over the
destroy
place.
all of the people who are basically
Independent.
telling the truth?
Yep.
Independents who refuse to play the game. You got them fucking going after fucking Alex Jones hardcore. You had him going after fucking
Brand.
Joe Rogan, although
You
he seemed
can't.
to shake it off. Like Russell Brand, dude.
Unfuckwittable.
Dude,
Like, you can't-
Dave Chappelle's unfuckwittable. Like
Yeah.
some people
Steven Crowder?
are uncancelable.
Steve Crowder, bro?
Uncancelable. What? Uncancelable.
Honorable.
Uncancelable.
Uncancelable.
It's not even,
I know
yeah.
what I'm saying.
You can't be canceled.
But
You
so
can be.
hopefully
You
when
can
you
be,
go up
but
to
if you have a
turn
big
off
enough
the phone,
following,
Kyle,
and
turn
you
off
establish
the
yourself
I had a little bit of
independently,
that.
100%, they
fear
can't
for
stop you.
that. But I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I think we're coming
Yeah.
to the end here.
I think
I'm
I'm
good.
good, man.
If
Yeah.
there's anything we want to wrap up, I know we went a little bit off course, but we dragged it back in a couple of times.
Most of it though is.
We'll
Far
definitely,
off,
touch on it.
yeah,
Far
most
off.
of it, yeah.
Yeah, we're
but
all
we
far
most definitely will be on our next episode
Most
before then,
definitely.
updating some stuff on this because like there's gonna be new shit happening every day, and we're in the. Unfortunately, that the world even works this way. This is in the beginning of the war when they love to talk about it and put shit on it.
Yeah.
Like
There's so much
in
more to
Ukraine
come.
and Russia.
Another
they're just-
6
yeah.
months, 7
Bro,
months.
there's
down
so
the
much
line,
more to come.
Something
This
else
is,
will happen.
I said this earlier on that live I did. I go, this isn't going to be one of these things that's swept under the rug in a week or two. This is going to be multiple months of this.
Yeah, but then eventually it will die and
And
you
eventually
cycle
will. Absolutely.
out, you know?
Agreed.
But all right, well,
Uh-oh.
you have a beautiful
yeah.
Sundays.
Check out It's Your Boy Fifth. Check out Tony the Young page happened.
Chit, chit.
Let's get it.
Peace.